Okay, everybody, and it looks like we are just about live with my headphones looking absolutely silly as can be. Let me see if I can switch these boys around so it works a little easier for me. Let's see if we can get that. Hey, White Wind jumped in first. It's good to see you. Thank you all for joining me. Federal Republics of Ohio just jumped in. Thank you for joining us. Backwoods said, hey, P. Hey, Backwoods, how are you? It's exciting to see you all here. Jackson Gamer jumping in already. Everybody jumping in. White Wind says, sorry, I was contacting Google to remove me off Google Maps. It is all good. Um, I wanted to talk about trying to get uh, some news out of the way. There's some updates that I have to discuss with you all about the Empire of Aeternia, but first, there's some big world news that's been happening. One of the things that's drawn my attention a lot today, Haiti's so first off, Haiti's president was killed. Um, Haitian President Jovenel Moïse was killed in an attack in his home before dawn on Wednesday, and the country's prime minister declared himself in control pretty immediately. Now, that's something that may not surprise a lot of people. When leaders of nations pass away, there's generally a process for going about, resuming control of the country and moving forward without them around in trying to fill that power void. But there is this weird issue. One, with how quickly everything was decided and determined, but secondly, because it seems like a little bit of a tension thing. It seems like there's concern and discrepancy about how all this went down. So I do want to talk about that. But first, of course, well wishes to his family. Of course, his wife still, I believe, in the hospital at in some poor condition, in some wounded condition. So we hope she makes a swift recovery. But this is something that happens to leaders of all kinds in this world, where people come in and try to remove them. Try to, for political reasons, for personal reasons, even try to attack them. And it's rough. It shakes the people who are supported by them and who feel connected to their cause, to their country, to their organization, to their identity, through that person and through the image of that person. Seeing that person pass away and be attacked causes a lot of weird issues, because to some degree it is 100% about making a point. I don't think many people attack world leaders like this without it having some deeper motive, some message that it's trying to send. But that in and of itself, even if it wasn't for that purpose, even just a natural passing of a leader due to old age or sickness or what have you, a coincidence, there is some spark that ignites in people. Whether that is emboldenment of their opponents to jump in and try and fill that vacuum, as may be happening here, or very well could be the situation where it emboldens their own followers. So you'll see this a lot of the time in organizations um, that people try to quell and try to put down. A lot of the time you'll hear the concept of martyrs and things like that, people who will die, and then it emboldens their cause. So when people try to assassinate world leaders and make change that way, it's a very violent and very, of course, it's violent, it's death, but um, there is an incredibly violent nature to that. And in addition, it sparks a lot of the time a violent reaction. It doesn't always have to, but there are many cases where it causes such a concentration of frustration and outrage and tensions that to get to that point must have been boiling over for a very long time. And I don't know a ton about the situation, the modern uh, political and social political situation in Haiti, but it to get to this point and to have all of this change occurring has to be something that is going to only lead to more destruction, more chaos, and more hurt for all of the people of Haiti. Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world. Haiti struggles with its economy and with developing itself. There are people who flee Haiti all the time to escape the situations that they're in. One of the things you'll notice, Haiti's uh, uh, the wife of the president went directly to a hospital in Miami, which one may just be world renowned and need to be where she went, but as well for immediate care, especially for something like a gunshot wound, there may have been quicker ways to assist her, but that may not be the case in Haiti. Haiti has a lot of its own issues to deal with and a lot of stuff that can only be made worse through the assassination of their leader. Um, it's such a rough situation to see. It's sad, but it's crazy at the same time because you don't want to think that this is the way that people go about trying to solve their political problems or trying to um, make change for themselves. But it happens, and it's absolutely insane. And it's tragic to know that that person has a family and um, that person was, in some sense, trying to. Ooh, excuse me one second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so I want to jump back into the comments real quick before we continue because this is, again, I said a crazy story. Um, Backwoods says, I brought a prestige card. Hey, I saw that. I wanted to tell you, Backwoods, I am excited that you want to support us. If you have you applied for um, either the sovereignty license, the foreign dignitary license, or the citizenship? Because if you become a citizen and you apply that way, you can get a citizenship license, and that'll be your citizenship and your connection to us. If you wanted to be a sovereign and go through, showing your country and showing yourself as an individual within our nation. That would be the sovereignty license. That would be the way to go. The prestige, foreign dignitary license, which is the one that you left a comment on your purchase, is specifically for people who are regularly paying to have that connection. It's specifically a tool for governments to be able to set up a person to be the direct contact between our government and their government to do larger deals, to make trade happen, to allow them to incorporate their business ties more directly into our imperial market, for example. So that's a more specialized thing. And I want to figure out what you're trying to do so that we can tailor the right thing to you. And so I can understand better what you need. Because they're all possible for you to get. I just want to figure out which thing you're trying to do before I send you something or you set up for something that you may not uh, um, best fit you. So I would love to continue to talk about that. If you can, please hit me up on Discord. I'm going to try and reach out. I think you have an email attached to your purchase, so I am going to reach out. But I don't want to set something up for you, and I don't want to accept your money until I can fully understand what you need. Republic of Surdom says, hello. Hello, Republic of Surdom. It's good to see you as always. Leona said, greetings, AP. Leona, it is always wonderful to see you. I appreciate you joining us tonight. White Wind says, I gotta read lips. My AirPods need to be charged. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Maybe closed captioning? Is there closed captioning on live streams? I don't know. Federal Republic of Ohio says, I've seen that. I heard he was a target for protests. Absolutely. Jackson says, hey, AP, thought I'd let you know that I have a website for my reptile company. Very cool. I'm glad to see that. White Wind says, quick question. What is he talking about? White Wind, I am talking about the death of the Haitian president, his assassination. Nate said, AP, what's up? What's going on, Nate? It's good to see you. As you all know, Leana, the #1 aristocrat in the Empire of Aeternia. She's the top of our prestige system. And as you all know, Nathan Colburn, aka Nate, is our press noble for the House of Others. So we're excited to have two Aeternian celebrities here with us tonight, hanging out. And I want to keep going with some of this. I want to go through the rest of these comments, but I am incredibly excited to get to the next few things we want to talk about. I wanted to really talk about the this event, the Haitian president being assassinated, kind of what geopolitics that affects, and how micronations can learn about the development of other countries and see what we can glean from that. So as we continue on, I just want to tell you all I appreciate you joining me. Also, please give me that like you know what you need to do. Hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot, and it helps us to grow the stream. It helps more people to jump into the stream. YouTube realizes people are in there, and they go, ooh, more traffic. So yeah, I would definitely appreciate it, guys. White Wind says he's moving his lips too fast and I can't read what he's saying. You know I'm a super speed talker. You can't hate the player. Jackson Gamer says, shrug. White Wind says, good thing my AirPods charge decently quickly. Agreed. Backwood says, I applied for the sovereignty license. Okay, perfect. So you do want the sovereignty. Hey, let me reach out to you. Did you get my email about it or did I send you an email? I need to go check. I'm going to check tonight to make sure that I sent you an email about it. But we will get you that sovereignty license. White One says, there we go, I can hear. Fantastic. Leanna said, Haiti has a strange history. There are some old documents that say around the founding of Haiti, the original government made a deal with the devil and sealed it in blood. Oh, that's interesting. First off, do you think that that is something that was designed as like a specific like ritual, like a way for them to inaugurate their government, or do you think it was potentially even a way to give some further culture or some even some like mysticism a little bit to the Haitian people? I imagine if you were at war with somebody, if you were trying to maintain your own sovereignty, if you were afraid that people were going to attack you or something, you might make up like a story or something like that to say, hey, I have this crazy thing that lives within Haiti. I can make deals with the devil. We're doing stuff like this that would concern your enemies. This mysticism around your people and around what they can do and their history. If you fill it with this really crazy, strange history, and then soldiers come to fight on your territory, you would be like, oh goodness. You'd be nervous the whole way there because you don't know if these stories are true or not, at least in those days. I think it would have been very interesting to see the actual reasoning for why that story was created. Jackson says, check. Backwood says, message retracted. Leanna says, so anything bad that happens in or to Haiti doesn't surprise me? Oh, goodness. Nathan says, Haiti is when you give an unorganized people a country. Well, it's because there's a lot of colonialism that has to do with that. I feel like that's more on Europe than on Europe and the United States than on Haiti itself. Jackson says, heart, they're all equal. Oh, goodness. Backwood says, OMG, Jackson. White One says, I wouldn't be able to attend a stream maybe until the end of next week. I'm going camping in the southeast West Virginia. Seneca Rocks. That sounds very cool, White One. I would love to see some like picture. If you get any cool like scenic mountain views or something like that. I personally love like the mountains and caves and all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, if you get some cool nature pics and you want to show off, you should definitely hit us up. We would love to hit them up on our Instagram, on our Twitter, and even on here as like a little short or something. So let me know. Jackson says, who is this bad person carrying that one over there? Interesting. White One says, Nathan said, ooh. Nathan's going hard in this. This is interesting. Let's move forward. Let's see what the rest of the Haiti news is. A group of unidentified individuals raised Mossy's private residence in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, at about 1 a.m. According to... Oh, nope, we're not doing it. We're not messing around with that. Nope, sure aren't. A group of unidentified individuals raided it, according to the interim prime minister, Claude Joseph. They gunned down the 50-year-old head of state and wounded his wife, Martine, who was transferred to the U.S. for treatment. Joseph, who condemned what he called a hateful, inhumane, and barbaric act, declared a state of siege and said the country's national police force and military have the situation under control with himself in charge now. Late Wednesday, Haiti's communications secretary said in a tweet the police have arrested the presumed assassins, but France Exantis did not provide further details about Wednesday's slaying or how many suspects had been arrested. Ooh. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Reactions have been pouring in from around the world, condemning the assassination, including President Joe Biden, who called the situation very worrisome. And it is. It's crazy to see the heads of states of other nations getting just like assassinated. It's horrible. Um, I don't know. And I feel like I've seen some like Haiti bashing in the chat and stuff. I feel like it's not even Haiti though. Like Haiti has been a poor country since it had its independence. It's always been kind of under the thumb of other nations that have been like trying to get something out of Haiti or trying to use Haiti as a small country to fight like a larger thing that it's doing. So I feel like Haiti's been exploited a lot. I feel like there's a lot of issues in Haiti that stem beyond any like individual government failing. So I think that it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It really is. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, I like this one. Okay. Um, Reeling from the coronavirus, Haiti's also been in the midst of a constitutional crisis. Yup. Dispute as Moise and the opposition leaders dispute the end of his 5-year presidency. Ooh. Joseph suggested he would only take command temporarily and call for presidential elections to move the country forward. Ooh. This is crazy. Everybody's sad. Everybody's so sad. Oh goodness, this is terrible. Mosey is in stable but critical condition. Wow. Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport by Trinity Air Ambulance Wednesday afternoon for treatment at Miami's Memorial Hospital. Wow. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Just attacked. But it says by well-trained commandos who were speaking Spanish. So it wasn't like this is some sketchy. This is some sketchy. I don't like it. Okay, so it's not only that they gunned them down. It was like it wasn't even his own people. It was like a trained group of assassins from another country who got hired on either from somebody internal or from another country who just wanted to pull more political strings. That's rough. Backwoods says almost heaven, West Virginia. Jackson says corporate wants you to save the difference between this picture and what? I'm trying to get through this chat, but there's a whole so they're singing a whole song in the chat. Burger corrected, said it's not 6:19, it's 7:07. You are correct. I don't know why we're back in time right now. Hey everybody, welcome to the past. No, you're right. I didn't update the stream settings since the last time I streamed. Weirdly enough, I changed Micronational News because it was talking about alliances previously, but I didn't change the date. You got me. You caught me. Right now, you traveled back in time to the past, and here we are. So thank you. If you like time travel, go ahead and give it a like. I appreciate it. Backwoods said I spelled mine so bad. Joseph said, well, the great heavenly Alexandrian Empire was purified. What? Of purified Cyboria sends its condolences to the nation of Haiti. We pray for calm, restraint, and peace. That's respectable. Thank you, Josephina. I'm sure they appreciate that. And as well, we appreciate you. Federal Republic of Ohio says, well, I bet it was Dominica. Ooh, you think it was the Dominican Republic? That'd be interesting. Jaya says, I joined, but I'm at my cousin's right now, and I probably wouldn't even see you read this message. Oh, I'm sorry, Jaya. I do appreciate you. Also, I'm excited about the tournament. Backwoods says, I'm so sad AP didn't sing West Virginia while reading our comments. You did the whole thing. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, take me home, country roads. And then goes, wait, are we going to get banned? I screwed it up. Got him. Yeah, I got you back. I came back through it. Burger says, oh, okay, that makes sense. Agreed. I appreciate it. Jaya says, I heard. Well, bye. See you, Jaya. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this, the change in different nations' leadership that can happen so dramatically really, really is like a switch for global politics, because it's one of those things where we are constantly in positions of set when somebody has created their administration, when someone has defined what it is that they want to do with their nation. We have these leaders who come in, and then we have this set period of like, okay, we're grinding toward this one thing, we're grinding toward this one thing. And of course, that's going to make enemies and friends along the way. There are going to be some people who are going the same way as you, some people who are going opposite you. So there's always going to be tension there. But then once somebody dies, once somebody's removed from office and somebody else replaces them, once there is a change of power, that person can go in a completely different direction. Most of the time does. A lot of the time when we see our political present, we say, hey, this sucks. I want to change this. I want to make this better. I have a better idea on how to fix this. So you get all the way to the top and you set up this way for you to enact your change. And all of a sudden you realize, oh wow, that's going to cause a lot of tension. There are going to be a lot of people who will then grow up and go, I didn't like that. I want to change that thing. So it's really, really hard for countries all around Haiti and who have to deal with Haiti to be absorbing this situation as well. It affects Haiti and it affects Haiti's people the most, but the shock waves of that ripple out from Haiti and hit every country that has ties with them, because it's rough, because you know that's going to cause even more stagnation in Haiti. It's going to cause even more interim violence. It's going to cause even more of a sort of wobbling polarity in Haiti as to what their moves are, how they're going, what certain standards and practices are going to be moving forward for Haiti in, trade negotiations, in personal, interior infrastructure development, in, large international projects, things like that. You don't know if Haiti is going to be like shut down to public access or whatever. You may have people from your country who are actively in Haiti right now who all of a sudden are put in this weird situation because now there's a new leader and we're in the country. Oh goodness, what are we going to do? That's a hard thing to deal with, and it's something that I think a lot of us, as we move forward in micronationalism, don't think about a ton. We may have some initial idea of kind of what intermicronational politics is going to be, for example, but that doesn't give us any clear indication of, when you start working with a nation, when you start developing ties with somebody, how that nation is going to run or operate in a year from then, and 2 years from then, 10 years from then. So stability in that sense is definitely important, but hard to maintain for a lot of reasons. White One says he probably get demonetized. Joseph said, "What's Eternia's response?" Eternia is deeply saddened. I personally am deeply saddened. I can speak on my behalf, and I believe I speak for the rest of the Empire in saying that the assassination a uh, of a nation's leader is a rough thing for those people. Even if that person is a bad person, sometimes I think there are reasons why that may become necessary at a certain point. But anybody who wanted to have any political motive would say that about something that would be too, against their own morals or whatever. But I think regardless of who the leader is, even if they are, a tyrant, even if they are a terrible person, there's still a standard that all of their people behind them live by because of the way that they've adapted to survive under that leader. So the politics, the standards, the everything may change under that leader, and the second they die, it's a madhouse. It can be as little as, trying to deal with the new laws and arrangements that are being made by a new um, a new uh, administration, if that's the way that it works. But at the most extreme, especially in a country that's already so unstable like Haiti, that could cause mass, mass disapproval for the government. I think there's already a ton of mass disapproval, but even so much as not being able to trust or not being able to put any effort into the government. The government could dissolve and fracture even more than it already has. And that is crazy for the people who are individuals living in Haiti trying to understand and play by the rules. It becomes nearly impossible to survive under a constantly changing base. So that's crazy. It's crazy, and it's a terrible situation for their government, but more so for their people. Uh, ooh. Also, Jackson says, AP, I'm going to send you a link to my website in Gmail. Thank you. Bierger says, I see your correction. So I know you have a paper currency, but have you thought about making coins for fractional purchases in your land? That's a great question, Bierger. So I know in the United States, and I want to make a video about this at some point, in the United States, minting coins for use as coins, for use as a currency, is illegal. Dun, 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 dun. You can't do it. Cannot do it. Can't use coins as a means for currency. You can sell, you know what I mean? You can do it for paper currencies. You can create digital currencies. You can do these different things. Metal coins, I need to double check, but I believe it's just illegal. Like, you just can't do it. They don't want you to do it. They don't want you to make and mint and sell your own metal coins for use as a currency. So we're not interested in that. If that becomes a possibility and that's something that we can do legally, we would love to. But as of right now, I do not believe that's possible. Backwood says, White Wind, not if he sang it and didn't play it. White Wind's, they're talking about country roads, West Virginia or whatever. White Wind says, White Wind's response is saying, Yee, time to become Whitelandian or vanish. Interesting. So your people's name, so your country name is the Empire of Whitewind, but your people are called Whitelandians? Interesting. Backwood says, Bierger. Whitewind says, my bones hurt. Backwood says, Haitian voodoo is used in the Mississippi Delta, and Bierger corrected me. Backwood says, African voodoo is used in Louisiana. Interesting. Ooh. Leona says, the current situation in Haiti reminds me of the Purge movies. It definitely is a tense enough situation to feel that way, for sure. Because it's not something that anybody internally can really fix. It's a structural problem. And it requires remolding, it requires long-term reworking of the system to make it more stable. And it sucks when you have a system that's already unstable getting further destabilized, because you can't really expect to do much to it right away. It's just not going to work. And that's bad. That's a really bad situation to be in if you are a Haitian. The other thing I wanted to talk about with everything moving forward, we have some new videos coming out. We've got some more stuff we are trying to develop. I'm going to go ahead and take us to our website so that we can keep talking about stuff and also look at what we've been doing a little bit. So the plans that we have moving forward, we have some new technological stuff that we're about to drop on you guys, so look out for that. If you guys have wanted to see some of the Empire of Aeternia's development and actually making things making things easier to do, allowing us to have higher production values on things like our streams. If you want to see us having higher production values in our actual industries that we're creating, allowing technology that makes it easier for us to do more, definitely let me know. There are a couple of videos that I'm preparing to drop pretty quickly that are going to be on those topics, so if you guys get excited about that and you want to see more, let me know. I know I've done a few things in the past, but we really haven't incorporated it a ton into the ideology and the everyday use of the Empire of Aeternia and its resources. So today, and as I start moving forward with this, I really want to pull those things in and make more use of them. So we're going to continue with that, and I'm going to reveal a little bit about that later on. But The other thing is that as we move forward, one of the things that's become a continual hot topic is micronational war, and specifically micronational militaries. I focused my aim down. You know, a lot of the time I have gone and spoken about micronational war as this very broad thing, as in this thing to say not to support and to not have. But now I think I've focused that down even more into micronational militaries and saying that micronational militaries in and of themselves can be potentially detrimental because it breeds this idea of militias. It's this idea of trying to claim independence and say you are a unique sovereign entity, but also saying I'm gonna fight you over it, and I'm gonna, I'm going to um, do so as a forceful presence in the area that you live. And that can be concerning for people. When people learn about your micronation, there may be certain people who are attracted to that and the idea of this military and going to support you in their community. But there will be many people who feel uncomfortable by a new armed group showing up in their community, and it could cause a lot more friction between you and that community, and potentially your nation and external law enforcement, things like that. A lot of the time, any tensions that happen internal to a group or anything that uh, is developed that way, that breeds issues internally, um, is going to be made worse when firearms are around. It's not always the case, but a lot of the time, if you have a large number of people and they all have weapons, there may be one person out of that group who takes their ideas a little too far, or who, does has a more aggressive take on something than you. So you may have this group of people who are all abiding by rules and following things and doing things properly. But if one person acts out and gets in trouble and gets arrested, or makes your group look bad, it affects the whole group. It really becomes a big issue. And so, what I want to push personally is to say that I understand that there are people who are very fond of the aesthetic of militaries, of the ideology, and of the rigor with which militaries train, the bravado that they carry ideologically. But I would say that what militaries are in actuality, and their use as a tool of war, uh, as purpose driven specifically for being a physically aggressive force, or a physically intimidating force if needing to defend, is something that becomes a problem when you are trying to advocate for human rights. If you are saying the reason that I should be given the ability to leave and to become my own nation is because I am a human. And if I am born into a situation that I don't like, I should be able to improve that situation, and it need be escape one that does not, that is not hostile for me, that is not hospitable for me. Excuse me. So that being the case, if you feel like you can't live where you live and you want to do something new and you want to make a new nation, that is fantastic. But it's hard to advocate the human rights of that situation to a large audience, to the world, when you yourself are actively brandishing arms, potentially against those people, because it makes your group look slightly more concerning. That if something did happen, it would be harder and harder to justify and support your group to a large audience. So as we move forward, there are definitely going to be nations who have militaries. There are going to be things that are developed that way. And to some degree, that's okay for them to do what they want to do. But I actively don't condone it, regardless of views on um, um, the reason that you set one up, or the reason that you develop one. It doesn't seem to be a huge benefit or huge gain to a nation that would warrant the risk that is established when handling firearms, when creating a military presence. So I want to make a video about that at some point. I keep saying that. I want to talk more about it. But it's a heavy topic and it's a big, big topic. And I feel like going further into specifically micronational militaries is an important thing to think about when you think about why you're developing a nation and what the purpose of it is. So for me, for the Empire of Aeternia, we are trying to help people. We're trying to give people a home. We are trying to allow people to establish a life that is better and more in control for themselves than the one that they come from. So what that means for us is providing a stable base for those people. What that means for us is being able to support those people and have certain base standards that are financially established for them as being a part of this nation of ours. That we create industries and we create things that are meant to fuel that base and are meant to support those people to some extent. And then from there, they can establish their own roots and establish their own industry and their own means of developing to further enrich themselves. And to continue that spread into the community. But it is something that is hard to do without going directly at it, without that being the target and the focus of all of your efforts. And it seems like some of the time, the more that micronations develop in one category or the other, the more that they shrink in some. So for us, we are trying to work and develop specifically for that goal. And time and time again, I've thought about this, I've wanted to process this, and it focuses down to, it sums to, that I don't think there's going to be a time, at least for the foreseeable future, that Aeternia ever needs or looks into or invests in any sort of defense force or anything like that, or really supports them in other nations, simply because of the idea that it is not conducive to what we're trying to do. It doesn't actually help us to achieve our goals. That doesn't mean that other nations can't do that, but it helps us a lot more to be able to work with nations and to be able to cultivate things with people that we know have similar focuses to us. So we will still obviously feature nations who are doing their own things and who have maybe micronational militaries and stuff like that, and we may talk to them and ask them why that is and learn from them. But our position and our stance is always going to be, I think, that is very difficult water to tread in and something that needs to be looked at very thoroughly before a nation considers it. Jackson says, if you ever need anything, let me know. I sure will. Thank you, Jackson. I'm excited to see the site. Nathan says, I'm in voice chat if you want to join. Hey, I appreciate it, Nathan. Did you see my message as well on Discord? White One says, America. Yeah, Joseph said, there's two governments in Burma, the state administration, the council, military junta, and the national unity government of Myanmar. Interesting. And how has that affected the lives of the people there? Are there some rules that are held by one and some rules that are held by others? Do they by one government and the other? Do they ever conflict in specific territories or things that they feel like they control? Does one tax more than the other? Does one gosh, golly, hate it. That's the question for me ultimately. Is how does that work in Burma? Is it bad? Like it seems like that would be really bad. White One says, here to save the day. Yeah. White One says, ooh, war. White One says, the way I'd solve a war is through Minecraft war so people don't really die. United Confederation of Solista said, greetings. Bierger says, war isn't good for anyone. Leanna says, the only true purpose of a military or militia is defense. United Confederation of Solista says, yeah. It's cool to have joint military exercises. I don't know about that. Steven said, what's up, my crusty crew? Hey, Steven, it's good to see you. I'm excited to see you. We were talking about micronational militaries. We were talking about stuff earlier. The president of Haiti was assassinated. That was something we were talking about. But and the implications of that, and then that led us into micronational militaries, and me saying I'm not really supportive of micronational militaries, and kind of giving my reasoning to that. Now, I wanted to bring me to that to kind of segue onto my next point, which is Stephen already knows about it. We are having a Risk tournament. That's right. The Empire of Aeternia is hosting a micronational Risk tournament. If you don't know what Risk is, I'm about to Google that because you're gonna learn today. Risk is it was originally a board game, but is a strategy game that you have that you can play with I think up to 6 people on the Risk mobile app, or you can get it on Steam on your computer. But you can play up to 6 people multiplayer at one time, and it is a game where you take over territories on the Earth. It is a war game in which you are attempting to take over different territories. And so, myself not really supporting micronational war, not really supporting micronational militaries, understand that there is still a need for nations to be able to squash beef and to be able to try to figure out their differences, maybe even as a way to get one over on another nation, to place wagers with each other, to figure out different support for different people and how things work out, to even settle arguments and debates. So in trying to do that, you can play games and you can have competitive tournaments which help to define status and ability and settle differences between different nations without actually having to do anything that is military sense in the slightest. Even if you want like a slight military tint to it or whatever, play a game that's based around these wars or these territory, conquering games, where you can have your nation, where you can set up troops, you can move forward with these things, but nobody's getting hurt. Your nation doesn't have to create a military. They don't have to actually fight anyone in any way or threaten to fight anyone in order to accomplish the goals that they want to move forward with, and even do so in a fairly aggressive way. This is something that's tactical. It's something that's fun, and it's something that I think we're going to get a lot of support out of. So far, we have, I think, a few more slots left, but if you guys want to jump in, like 2 or 3 more slots maybe, but if you guys want to jump in, definitely email me at eternianempire@gmail.com. Hit us up on the Discord. If you haven't, you can DM me. You can hit it up in the general, or hit up our Twitter and Instagram. We always love there, and we want to see you guys sending us some support that way. So if you want to message us on any of that, please do, so we can get you into the game. It's going to be this Friday the 9th, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So whatever time zone you're in relative to Central, it's that time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we're going to be doing that on Friday. We're going to have it on our first tournament as a way for 6 different groups, whether it's 6 nations, 6 people, to be able to fight it out and to have a declared victor. We can play 6 people at one game, so we're going to play one massive game and see who wins. Once we have that said and done, we're going to go and post the winners and the leaderboard on our website. And we're going to drop it down and declare that as the first Grand Micronational Risk Tournament. And we'll have that displayed. And then, as we continue through the years, maybe as we continue through this year, we'll do another one, and we will have nations compete. We will maybe have brackets of different games that are being played at different times to see who can conquer them all, to see who can be the #1 grand champion at Risk, to see who can flex on others and show their skill and show their prowess. I would love to see nations at a certain point, because this is a free app to get. It's free on Steam and it's free on the Google Play Store. I don't know about the App Store, but I imagine it's free there too. This game is something that is, a lot of people know it. It's an old game, used to be a board game, and it still is a board game, really, honestly. But it also has digital versions. We can all play this. This can be something that people squash beefs with. This can be something that we use as a way to make a name for ourselves in the micronational community and to have fun and to do that gaming, those things that we like. The Micronational Olympics is something that people have talked about for a long time. Malasia did a Micronational Olympics a while back. There are, years ago, but there are things that can be done like this that are easy and that are effective. So let's game up, get your gang up, not really, but get your micronational allies up, and let's fight it out on the Risk map. Bring your brain and see if you can take this fame. We're gonna be trying to do that. And what I would love to see is it eventually becoming an all micronation tournament. So nations put their best risk player forward, and then we throw them into the tournament. There may eventually become qualifiers for the tournament where people are playing to see if they qualify. But we will start to give out an award for this. That right now the award is going to be, just recognition on our website, trying to move forward from there. But eventually we might do, the rewards for becoming first in this, maybe that we like hype you up with a video for the next one. Hey, you won the last time. Are you going to be in it this time? And stuff like that. So we want this to become a bigger and bigger thing that helps more and more nations and really brings people to the spotlight. If you want your chance in that, definitely make sure to hit us up and join the very first Micronational Risk Tournament. There are people who have already started working for this and started trying to study it. Ooh, let me refresh the chat real quick. We had some chat jumping around. There we go. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Also, let me make sure that we're still on free for profit. Hey, we sure are. Very cool. So, now that we know what risk is, Whitewind says, I might form a royal protection guard. Do you need it, though? Do you need it, Whitewind? Pina said, essentially the military did a coup d'etat and overthrew the democratically elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi. Dang, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear about that. Are there supporters of Suu Kyi still within Myanmar? And how well did the coup work? Or is there still a lot of infighting? You said there's two different governments. Whitewind says, okay, I'm in. Ooh, fantastic. United Confederation of Solista says, I can confirm my attendance in the game. Ooh, fantastic. Okay. So Confederation of Solista, are you on Discord? Because we're going to have to create a group chat for everybody when it starts to have everybody join in and join the game. We're going to do a big thing. Jackson says, Unti Somal Toka who? Speaking a whole language. Whitewind says PC or mobile. That's a great question. I think you can do it either or. I think if you get the PC game, you can play with mobile players and vice versa. I think it works across the board. I'm going to probably be playing on PC. So I recommend, just in case, get PC. But you should be able to play on mobile. It should be fine. Leona says, we could use paintball markers instead of guns. That way people can feel pain, but still be able to run home to mommy after they get tagged. Just saying. Respectable. And we could eventually do that one day. I think that would be fun one day. I feel like that's better. Agreed. I feel like that's better than doing war game style stuff. But yeah. Jackson said some more stuff. I don't understand what you're doing, Jackson. I don't know what this language is. Solista says, yeah, I'm on Discord. Ooh, fantastic. Hit me up. DM me and tell me your confirmation. I'm going to add you to the bracket. Once we get everybody in and we lock it down, we're going to respond to everybody probably tomorrow and get everybody linked in, get everybody confirmed. Probably an hour on Friday before we actually start the stream, I'm going to send everybody out a message and just say, hey, is everybody good? Is everybody in? Is everybody ready? Because if you don't show, you're disqualified. You're automatically disqualified. So you'll just be in last place. So everybody, please hit us up, and I will be excited to see you all. I'll make sure to keep everybody that I know is confirmed and is in there in the group chat, and I will keep us all updated on it. Jackson the Gamer says, AP disclaimer, my website is not ready. You can look at it, but you can't buy stuff. Thank you very much, Jackson. I believe you said that earlier, but I appreciate it. Whitewind says, BTW, I am too, but I have 3 Discord accounts. I'll message you on the one I want you to invite me in. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Whitewind. I appreciate it. Shravi says, what are we doing? Hey, Shravi, it's good to see you. We are talking about the Micronational Risk game that is going to be going on, Micronational Risk Tournament, that we are going to be having on Friday, July 9th, this coming Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. you already know we're going to be, I'm going to actually get our docs up so that way I can just have it right here. Micronational Risk Game. Friday, July 9th, 7 p.m. CST. Perfect. So that's going to be on stream. We're going to be hanging out for that. Ooh. Gotta jump off. Ooh. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. It'll be Friday, July 9th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to be doing it big. We're going to be having it on stream, so we'll be able to watch the action in real time as people lose, as people change, as armies grow and shrink. The Empire of Aeternia is going to be representing itself, I believe, in not just one, but 2 different slots. We're going to have myself, potentially 3 different slots, I think. We're going to have myself, we're going to have, I believe, Stephen Vince, who's the master of the House of Treasure here in the Empire. We're also probably going to have Nathan Cohen, Press Noble Nathan, to join us, so that will be exciting. Shravi, that's what we've been talking about. So if you're interested in joining that, I know you have your own nation as well, you could jump in and join the Micronational Risk Game. You can get it free for PC or mobile. If you hit it up on PC, you need to get it on Steam, but it'll be fun. Celista says, sent you a DM in Discord. Thank you so much. White Wind says, Risk Tournament on Friday. Yep. Jackson says mobile or PC. I'm going to be doing PC. I recommend everybody do PC just in case, but I think it can work on both. I think if I'm playing on PC, you guys can jump on. I think it's just a link. I think I just send you guys a link, and then you're able to jump in. So there shouldn't be any difficulty between PC or mobile, as long as I send the link to everybody. So as long as you have one of the apps, you should be good, but I'll let you guys know. White One says Risk Tournament on Friday. Jackson says, AP, you will have to unban me from Discord. I was banned for being underage. However, now I am eligible for Discord. Okay, can do. Republics of Ohio says, you know what? I'll join it. If I can't, I'll let you know. Hey, thank you very much, Federal Republics of Ohio. Please DM me and let us know. If you can, if you can't make it for whatever reason, you should DM by tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, because the next day we're just going to be setting things up and getting everything ready. So if we have a cancellation, we want to be able to let somebody else know so they could jump in and take the spot. There's only 6 spots. I'm going to be one of those spots. So we only got 5 spots. I think I have like 2 or 3 of them already like pretty much confirmed. So everybody else who hits me up, we're going to be filling those spots, and then we'll have backups, and we'll say, hey, you didn't make it this time, but if you still hang out and watch the stream, if for whatever reason someone can't make it, hit me up and I'll throw you in. I'll send you the link next. You will be on the sidelines. So definitely let me know. If you can't make it, like I said, let me know as soon as possible so that way I can switch somebody else in. Jackson says, AP, you left to unban me. I can do that. White Wind says, would that be 8 p.m. Eastern Time? Yes, it would be 8 p.m. Also, thank you guys for 9 viewers. If you guys could smash that like button, you already know, and the subscribe button, that would be appreciated. One of the things I noticed on our analytics, on our channel analytics, we don't have, there's like a certain number of people, I think it's fairly low, who have actually hit like all notifications. So some people hit me up sometimes and they're like, I didn't know the last like 5 of your videos came out or whatever. When you click the notification button, definitely click the notification button if you haven't. Double check your settings if you have, to make sure you get all the videos. But if you go from when you click the bell originally, it'll set it to like personalized notifications or whatever. You want to set that to all notifications, so that way it sends you them every time instead of just a video it thinks you might like, because it may send you 1 in every 30 videos with you if you have personalized notifications on. So if you set that to all notifications, it'll jump up. Ooh, we got 12 viewers all of a sudden. We got 12 viewers all of a sudden for this Micronational risk game. You know, we're starting this competition, starting this tournament big, and it's about to be something big in the Micronational community. So if you think this time is exciting, if you're hyped for this one, wait till it grows. Wait till we have 20, 30, 40 nations jumping in on this, trying to compete. We'll have it as like a week-long thing. There'll be brackets. We'll break it down. So as we continue to do this, please support us. Please, like I said, hit all notifications. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like us. Make sure to share us with other nations, other people you think might like the content, because it helps us to jump up. Right now, we're trying to get to 2K subs, and we have like 5 months to do that. We're pretty close. We're almost 70% of the way there, so we can definitely do it. But thank you, Federal Republics of Ohio. Whitewind said, would that be 8 p.m. Eastern? It would. Jack said, I will also join if mobile. Fantastic. Then definitely send me that DM in Discord, and I'll let you back in. Republic of Aristoria said, this sucks, boo. Yay. Yay, Aristoria. You're so cool. New German said, good afternoon, Your Imperial Majesty. How are you today, Your Imperial Majesty? I'm good, United Kingdom. How are you? I'm pretty sure this is Andrew. How are you, Andrew? Leanna says, AP, did you get my last order for notes? Ooh, let me, dang. Okay, I'm going to pull a new tab to double check that right now, because I have been a little bit wonky with the Etsy recently. I have not been looking at it in a second. There's been stuff going on. So let me see when the most recent order was. The most recent order I have is June 10th that was completed, and that was to Steven. Your last one, did you get the 15 notes from June 5th? It says it was delivered on June 15th. So that's the last one I got from you. I have one new order from July 1st, and that's for a license. But that's not from you. That's from someone else. I don't think so. If you've ordered more notes, I don't believe I've gotten the order. Double check though. If your Etsy says that you have submitted an order to our shop, please let me know, because I want to figure out why I'm not seeing it. But yeah, I appreciate it. Let me see. Boop. Okay, so yeah, Micronational risk game. Jackson says, hey AP, my Discord account is called Greenistan Jackson to make it easier to unban me. Ooh, thank you. I will hit it up. Oh, they're spamming. Oh no, they're spamming. Are they spamming? Let's see. Let me jump in right here. Do, 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 do. Good evening, Kingdom of Aeternia. I believe. Let me double check. Yep, I put him in timeout. Okay, cool. Republic of Astoria is in timeout. We got him. We got him. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Kingdom of Aeternia, it's good to see you. We were just talking about our Micronational risk game. We're having a inter-micronational risk game. It's going to be happening Friday, July 9th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know, we normally don't make specific time-dedicated events on the channel, but this time we are. So if you want to join us, if you want to compete as a fellow rival micronation for the glory of a risk championship, you could definitely do so by letting us know, hitting us up on Discord, or sending us an email to tell us you want to be a part of that. Ooh, TJ's Topia joined us. I think you're new. Hello, TJ. I hope you're doing well. If you don't know, we are a micronational YouTube channel. We've created a country, the Empire of Aeternia, this beautiful flag behind me, and all it represents. We have a lot of our citizens hanging out in the chat, as well as a ton of other nations. We're talking about a micronational risk game right now, so if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend you subscribe, definitely recommend you like. Helps us spread the thing out, and the stream, and hit those all notifications if you subscribe, because it means a lot. TJ Topia says I'm the supreme ruler of Sabat. That's very cool. Congratulations. I would love to learn more about your nation, so let me know. Um, Whitewind says from this. Also, if you're the supreme ruler of Sabat, maybe the supreme ruler of Sabat wants to play a micronational risk game and win a micronational risk championship. It'd be cool to like come up on the scene as a new micronation and just win like an inter-micronational championship. Like you just show up and win the Olympics all of a sudden. But yeah, we're gonna shout out the winner. We're going to put them on our website and show them off. So if you're interested in joining, all you need is the Risk mobile app or PC app. Both of them are free, so you should be able to check that out and play if you want to. TJ Topia says, I'm in the Discord and I've been following your works for a while, but I don't think I've been in a stream before. Hey, well, welcome. I'm hyped because we have 12 viewers right now. If you guys can give it a like, it means a lot to help spread it. Because right now, I told that to people earlier and they did it, and now the stream's blown up a little bit more. So yeah, I appreciate you guys jumping in and hanging out with us. This is helping our watch time like a lot, and it means a lot because we're trying to get to that 4,000. So every second you guys hang out with us is another second that we get closer to that. TJ's Topia says, I play that game almost daily. TJ's about to kill us. Okay, hold up. TJ's about to kill us right now. Okay, so let's see. TJ, go ahead and play us then. See if you're going to win. Vernonium says, we're currently testing a new camouflage pattern for our army. We're currently testing the Swiss N57 pattern. No, micronational militaries. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Vernonium. That's cool. Like, I appreciate it, I guess. I'm glad that you're, like, adapting your culture and you're developing, but, like, I don't know. Micronational militaries get weird for me. White Wind says, my phone is at 1%. Good night, everyone. Good night, White Wind. It was good to have you. Hey, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Especially because people will hang out just until they physically can't anymore. There's a ton of, like, really deep support in the channel, and I feel it, and I know it's there. So I want all of you guys to know how much I appreciate you for that, and how much it means to be a channel that's relatively pretty small. We are, if we're a micronation and a nano YouTube channel, so we're very, very small, but we are actively getting a lot of support, and so I want to thank you all for that, especially because it helps to set up things like these micronational risk tournaments. We couldn't do this if we didn't have the community for it. We couldn't shout out other nations and help to bring people up with us if we didn't have all of you actively supporting us and making that change happen. I need to update our land purchase funding as well pretty quickly because we have some new updates to it. Not a ton, I don't think, but we're about to have more. So as we slowly tick up to 10% of our land purchase funding, we're almost to $1,000 in our land purchase funding, which will mean 10% of our total goal for a land purchase. We're on our way. We're just well on our way. And I can't wait for that to happen. Vernonium says we're currently testing that. United Kingdom of New Germany says, Republic of Astoria, I've started my own micronation called the United Kingdom of New German. Very cool, but I know that's you, Andrew. How you doing? Leanna says, back, the order didn't go through. It stored in the cart, but didn't confirm. I finished the order. Hey, thank you so much, Leanna. I will get that processed and get it sent out to you lickety-split. Ooh, Leanna, you're going to be excited. Everybody's about to be excited. I haven't even plugged this on the channel. We have so much new stuff. We got new packaging. We got unique Aeternian packaging for all our orders that you buy online. You can help us real time get all of that stuff to grow our land purchase. And we have new packaging. It's purple packaging. It's cool as snot. I think you'll like it, bro. Let me get it if you'll excuse me. Oh, goodness. It's really cute, and I'm going to plug it on the Instagram and the Twitter. Y'all already know I'm going to make like a short about it, I'm sure. Look at this. We have purple packaging. We have purple packages to send our things in. That's really cool. We're going to put the Aeternian logo in there. We're going to slap it on. We're going to make this thing cool. We have purple packages. Unique. We got it. Oh, I'm so excited about it. That's the kind of stuff that you guys help to make happen when you support the channel. Like, we're growing. We're becoming more professional. We're becoming more developed with every single time I jump on. Sometimes there's so much stuff that we're doing and trying to get as individual moves all the time that I can't just announce it all on the channel, because it'll be like a little bit's done here and a little bit's done here and a little bit's done here. So just know there's all the time stuff like this happening on the channel and ongoing. So thank you so much for supporting us and helping us to get there. And also know that we're actively pushing for more of that stuff. So we are doing it. We're getting there. Ooh, also, Astoria jumped back in. They're trying to win, but we're gonna get them, and we'll get them again and again if they keep spamming. You think they learned their lesson, but they need to stop spamming. Okay. Oh, let me go ahead and pause that. Jump into another free for profit beat. There we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me jump in with everybody real quick. First off, United Kingdom of New German said good night, good night. United Kingdom of Celesta said I'm testing the woodland camo currently, too, at Vernonia. Ooh, pretty cool. So this is the official Gmail. Also, it's pronounced Sabatat. Ooh, okay, my apologies. I did say Sabat. Sabatat. Thank you, Sabatat. Also, I am excited to see you supporting us. Thank you so much. I noticed you have your government channel, and I'm excited to see it develop. So please let us know how you're doing and how things are working for you and your government. Veronium says we use our army to enforce our land claim in the north. Ooh. Veronium says, AP, you can talk really fast. You should become an auctioneer. I appreciate it. I think part of it is having been on the channel and having been doing this so long. But I will. I'll start doing auctions on the channel. Whitewind says, ban Astoria. Ooh, got him. Celicia says we use my army to secure our border and to ensure safety of our nation. But that's what everybody said. I don't think you need an army, though. I respect it. I 100% respect it. But I think there are alternative methods to achieve the same thing. I don't think it's necessary. Leanna says, not so good today. My allergies and stomach issues flared up at the same time. How are you, New Germany? I'm sorry to hear you're not doing well, Leanna. I hope you're feeling all right. And I hope you feel better soon. I know Tiffany and I have both had, like, in one way or another the last couple weeks, our own fair share of, like, health weirdness. So I hope you're okay. I really do. I hope you relax, enjoy yourself. I know you have a lot on your plate personally. So give yourself some of that time, you know, give yourself that well-deserved Leanna time. Relax, enjoy yourself, do what you want to do, and know that we are proud of you, know that the people in your life are proud of you, and that you deserve a little you time. So good luck, Leanna. I hope you feel better. And again, thank you so much for supporting us. TJ's Topia says, ew, Micronational war. You get me, TJ. TJ gets me, and TJ is also probably going to win this Micronational wrist tournament. TJ, hit me up. For real, you should. If you've been gaming, oh gosh. If you've been gaming on Risk for a while, I love Risk. Apparently a ton of people in the Micronational community love Risk. I don't know why we haven't been doing this since the beginning. Everybody knows Risk. This is great. Leanna says, AP purple is my favorite color. I'm glad, Leanna. It's honestly my favorite color, too. I love purple. I love red. Red's on my ascot. Purple's on the flag. It is our culture, girl. It is our culture. You and me and Nathan and Steven and Gray and all of the rest of our citizens, all the rest of our supporters, you're helping to make that happen. So hopefully that little sign of purple will show that your support has been working, Leanna, that you've been helping to make change here. Even if it's just grinding and grinding to get it to work, it's moving forward little bit by little bit. And I also want to tell you, I hope it brings you some comfort to know that we're all in this together, right? We're all trying to make this thing happen. And I hope that when you see this purple in the mail, that's a sign to you that that's paying off a little bit. So Thank you, Leanna, for being you, for supporting us, and even just for being here, for talking, for giving us a look into who you are as a person. I've appreciated that personally. Whitewind says, my phone is at 1%. It's lasting for a long time. Yay, Whitewind! I believe in you. Getting that watch time up until the death of it, huh? Republic of Ohio says, I'm not taking them seriously. You too, Whitewind? Whitewind says, me too what? New German says, Republic of Astoria, I don't need no war right now. My nation peace only, okay? Sleepless Trash said, greetings from Sleepistan. Hey, Sleepistan, it's good to see you. I appreciate you supporting the stream. If you like what we're doing, please give it a like, as you already know. And also hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go to all notifications on the notifications thing, because it causes problems for people. Sometimes they miss like a ton of videos because on personalized notifications. Fix that, get it set up, you'll be good. We appreciate you. Also, Sleepistan, how have you been? Have you applied for our Micronational Risk Tournament? Have you seen what we've been doing? We dropped the official announcement for the Micronational Risk Tournament actually on our Instagram and Twitter. So if you guys missed those things, you should jump in. But this is when the Micronational Risk game is happening. Friday, July 9th, that's in 2 days at 7 p.m. on the stream. Even if you can't be a part of this one, we're going to be announcing the winners, we're going to be showing off, and we're going to be on stream so you can participate and hang out with us whenever you get a chance. Also, Anastasia Cicerovna, it's good to see you. Goodness. Jackson says, can't wait until I get unbanned, so happy. I'm ready for Risk. We're also ready for Risk. We're excited to see you, Jackson. New German said, I'm fine. Thank you, Leanna. Anastasia said, there's a lot of health weirdness going on. I agree with that. Health weirdness is a whole thing. And it sucks to have health weirdness stuff going on when you really don't need it to be. A lot of the time, it shows up when you're most stressed. A lot of the time, it shows up when you're just having a day. Everything else is going weird. It starts off weird. You know it's going to be a weird day because you get that tickle in the back of your throat. You're like, oh, no, this is a problem. Or you have, like, drainage or whatever, like sinus drainage. It's gross. It sucks. But I always like the end of those days, because once you go to sleep and you wake up the next day, either you're feeling worse, which sucks, because then it's like, oh no, I'm sick, or you get up the next day and you're like, I made it. Like, I feel good. Like, I don't feel like groggy or like weird or whatever like I did the other day. I'm not like, stuffed up or whatever. I hope you feel better, Leanna. I really do. TJ's Topius, is there a place for Aeternia already found, or are we going to look once you save up? I currently only have an embassy inside the United States, but I'm looking into a Canadian island to purchase. So right now, our land is where we are at. Right now we have land that we are actively renting in 2 different parts of the state of Alabama. But the whole issue with that is that we want our land to be our own. We want to have it fully purchased. We want to be able to keep it forever. And so in doing that, and to know that it's truly ours by title and deed. So by that degree, we're going to be looking continuously. One of the things that I'm trying to figure out as we get closer and closer to that mark, that 10K mark isn't like the amount we need. Like once we set it down, we got the land, we have the land waiting on us. It's more so what I think a decent plot of land for us would allocate that just serves our initial needs, our base needs, not even residency necessarily, just enough to continue to push our industry and to get people actively working in Aeternia. Once we have that developed and are able to increase the amount of our production, we can move forward pretty quickly. We can get more people in, we can be doing more things on a larger scale, but until we get to that point, we can't. So that $10,000 number is a number to say this would be a good amount to pay for land. Now, what I have been trying to debate and figure out is, are we going to be doing that when we hit 10K? Are we going to save up more than 10K to make sure that we have, all the necessities for whether or not we are going to be needing, there's going to be certain infrastructure things we need right away. But what's got me more is, if we accelerate quick enough, if we get enough consistent revenue and consistent support going by you all, by engaging with you all, by doing the things that we've been doing, by growing like we have been, our Etsy numbers have been fairly consistent. They haven't been the most consistent, but they've been pretty consistent, and it gives us a good little baseline to work off of. So if we just keep accelerating that baseline with more of you guys supporting us, we may be able to get land early. Not super early, not tomorrow, but early enough that we could put a decent amount down on the land. And if we calculate it out and we know we'll be good, we can make payments on that land so long as we know we're going to have the money to go through and cover that. All the while still actively putting toward those payments with the amount of money that we get every month from our different industries. Now that's a hard thing. Excuse me, that was some weirdness right there. That was some health weirdness. But that ultimately is the larger question is like, are we able to really push our industries to the point that we have a set valuation, that we have a set routine valuation of how much we're going to be making every day, every week, every month, every year? Because if we know that, then we can start figuring out things for the future and saying, hey, we have this buffer zone of, $1,000 or whatever, where if all we have to pay is like $200 or $300 a month or whatever as a payment, we can do that pretty easy if we know we have $1,000 a month or whatever that's coming in. Now these are large things. This is a lot to ask for, but it's also the different ways that we need to strategize, and whether a land purchase is going to be something that we draw out for the empire or whether we're trying to get to it as quick as possible. And that really depends on our size and our capabilities. A lot of things. Whitewind says, so I hope that answers your question, TJ. Whitewind says, smart, but parts of Canada is cold, so you're going to need imports. Whitewind says, I recommend buying an island off the coast of the Caribbean. TJ says, purple is also a main color on my flag. Congratulations. I knew we had something in common. We had that going on. Renonium says, our only consulate is in the U.S. and you're a colony. Very cool. New German says, I'm the president of the kingdom, half republic of... Ooh, changed the whole game. Leanna retracted her message. TJ said, I have a budget of under $500,000 and want a lot of territory. I found a place for $400,000 with 40 acres. That's crazy. Are you good? Like, is that like easy game for you? Or are you like, yeah, I found it, and then I'm slapping down the $500,000 right away? Like, that's big to me. That's big money. But if you got it, go you. Renonium says, my flag is basically a stereotypical depiction of the future mixed with Norway. Of the future? Your flag depicts the future? Your flag is a psychic flag. I'm impressed. I like that, Renonium. Leanna says, I'm not very fond of Risk. I'd rather be playing Mahjong. That's fair, Leanna. Honestly, it's not everybody's game. I've always liked it. I think it's fun. But I get it. Oh, no. New Astoria is trying to get banned out here. Ooh. Sorry, we're getting them. We're getting them. Got him. Cool deal. Got him. Got him. Got him, got him, got him, got him, got him, and we threw him out, and we threw him out, and we threw him out. Okay. So, Bernard says my flag is basically, yeah, the future. I was thrown by that one. New German said they have a new friend and ally. That's great. Congratulations. I didn't know, but I'm glad I know now. Anastasia says, Dream Warriors and Sleepistan? That sounds cool. I'd be impressed with Dream Warriors. They have, like, pillow-based, like, helmets and stuff and, like, armor, but it's actually hard, and they're, like, sprints up to you. That'd be really cool. Sleepless Trash says, nah, we don't have Dream Stands. I appreciate it. Shravi says, I don't have a micronation, I just like the community. Oh, that's very cool, Shravi. Well, I appreciate it. If you want to join our micronation, you definitely could. You could join the Empire of Aeternia. If you wanted to, you could become a citizen. You could help support us. You could help us make cool content. You could bring your ideas and your face to the Micronational community if you wanted to. And it'd be a great way to help support us and our continual advancement to land. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. But we enjoy having you, Micronation or no. Vernonium says, anybody know what Kapperberg did? Also, Shrabi, that's interesting. I do want to hit you up as somebody who like doesn't have a micronation but does support the micronational community. How do you feel as somebody who isn't actively participating in a micronation but seeing how micronations work and interact? What is that like for you? Do you feel like you've learned a lot? Do you feel like there's any weirdness you found? Let me know. That's a unique perspective. Vernonium says, anybody know what Kapperberg did? I can find any reason if so many countries declared war on them. Oh, goodness. TJ said, I put my national flag into general. Hey, I'm excited to check it out. Leanna said, I found 102 acres close to my house. They want $365,000 for it. The land is in Virginia, but the phone number is from North Carolina. Interesting. 102 acres, solid amount of land. Like, I would be hype about that. 365K. I know right now that's cheap because in like 10 years that's going to be like mills. But it's that is interesting. The numbers from North Carolina. That's fine, I guess, right? Like my numbers a little anyway. Renonium says, I would like to learn more about the land, Leanna. I obviously can't buy it right now, but it would be cool to learn about. Also, I'm excited that you're looking for land. If you want to look for land for us, it seems like that might be what you're doing. If you are looking for land for us, thank you. And like we want to continue that because I want to find a good home for the Empire, and I want it to be something that may be accessible to you. Like I want it to feel like something that is a home for all of us, that we could feel like is more possible to get to. And I know a lot of our supporters are on the East Coast. A lot of our government and our, best supporters are up on the East Coast. So I'm like, do I buy land more on the East Coast? What do I do? I want to figure that out because I want it to be accessible. I want people to be able to take trips there. I want people to be able to hang out with us. So we're going to figure it out. Lana said, greetings to Tiffany wherever she is. Tiffany is at work, but I will tell her greetings for you. And I'm sure she says greetings back. Renonium says, oh, it seems like there was a civil war. TJ Topia said, I wanted a seaside territory so I wouldn't be landlocked. That's also very cool. There's also stuff like rivers and estuary. You can, if you have land that is on any waterway that connects to the ocean, that's just as good, honestly. Vernonium says, the Great Wall of Message deleted tickets. The Great Wall of Messages deleted. Tickets start at $0. I appreciate it. If you make any money selling the tickets, let me know. Lana said, greetings to Tiffany. New German says, can you say hello to Tiffany for me today? I sure will. I will tell her that Andrew says hello. Andrew, I'm sure she would say hello to you as well if she were here now. Bruv says, this is Locustan. What's up, Bruv? It's good to see you as well. If you haven't subscribed with that channel, and if you haven't hit all notifications, and if you haven't liked this video, you should. It would mean a lot. It would help us out, honestly. It helped to grow the channel, and it helped to move us toward them watch time goals that we're always grinding to. Ooh, Cool Guy Studios jumping in. Sup, Ameristan here. Ameristan, it's good to see you. I think you're already subscribed to us, but we appreciate a like. We appreciate your support. And sharing. If anybody shares the video, you guys don't even know what that does to our watch time. Bruv says, this is Logistan, I have returned. Leanna says, it's mostly open pasture land with some wooded areas. It has some streams running to it, so that's some fresh water. Yes, absolutely. That's one of the things, 12 viewers, Africano Oxaquino Bandera says, hello. Hello, Africano, it's good to see you. Or Bandero, I guess. Interesting. It's good to see you. If you don't know, we are a Micronational YouTube channel. We are the Empire of Aeternia. We're a nation. We're trying to purchase land, and we're well on our way to it. We're almost at 10% of our goal for that. So if you're interested in supporting us, all you have to do is subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like the video. Right now, we're talking about a Micronational Risk game. We're going to bring a whole bunch of nations together to be playing Risk Friday, July 9th at 7 p.m. Central. So if you want to check that out and see which nation has the guts to make it on top, just let us know, and we will be checking in with you then for it. So yeah, let me jump into that. It's good to see you, Logistan. It's good to see you, cool guys. Good to see you, Africano. Kingdom of Vernonium says, good evening, Ameristan. United Confederation of Solista says, my currency is based on the US dollar standard due to its stability. And says, although the value might go down because of, don't want to get into politics, that's fair. TJ's Topia says, question, I'm pretty sure this is a no, but is there any Aeternian states? If not, are you thinking about making them? That's a great question. Hey, you should have checked out. Okay, so we had a recent video that we just did on alliances. If you haven't checked that out, I recommend you do. It's one of our edited videos, one of our nicer videos. That references a video that we did a while back on territories for Micronation. And we wanted to start the Ministry of New Maryland, which was going to be a territory for the Empire of Aeternia, was going to be run by a minister, basically like a governor, and that ended up not working for us. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a whole video on the state, and then there's a whole video explaining the aftermath when we talk about alliances that covers all of that you can check out. So our most recent alliance video would be the one describing that in more detail, and then if you wanted to know the original source, it'd be our states video, or our video on territories. That's a great question. Micronational states, I think I call them like statesmen. Ooh, lots of things. But yes, I would definitely love to make another. It's just such a hard thing to get something that would be concrete. We would need somebody who's actively working to develop the state. They'd have to be, bringing in citizens. It'd have to be developed with an industry. We would have to be able to regularly go there and check in on them and work with them and get profit from them and be able to provide them with resources and equipment. It'd be a big, big endeavor. It'd be an alliance times 100, you know what I mean, as far as complexity. So we want to do it. We just have to make sure that we do that right. We cannot slip again with what we're dealing with now. We have money on the line. We have people on the line. So we want to make sure we do it right, and we want to provide that to you all so that you know what to do and what not to do. So yeah, we want to create a state, but that has not happened yet because of our own trying to pick and choose the right, most successful candidate. And as well trying to establish what that means for us. We have 15 viewers right now, guys. We have 15. If you guys all liked the video, if you all hit those subscribe buttons, those notifications, it would blow us up. As well, y'all are killing our watch time right now, which is going to make our trip to monetization like skyrocket. I appreciate y'all. Everybody's hitting up chess. Everybody in the chat's talking about chess. Steven said, AP, you play chess. I do play chess. I would love to play chess with you guys. Nathan said, AP, play chess with us in voice chat. Cool Guy Studio says, Ameristan currency is called caps. Backwood Deller says, cap, no cap. Nathan says, how can you talk about this stuff for an hour? Because it's fun. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing what everybody's up to in the chat, but I also like talking about it. You know what I mean? It's helpful to me to understand what other micronations are doing, why they're doing it, and what we can learn from ourselves. Sometimes even just saying something out loud as you plan it, as you try and figure it out, is enough to teach you something about what you're doing wrong or how to improve yourself. Having to say it as well in front of an audience is something that really makes me think about what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. So it helps. It really does. It teaches me. That's how I can talk about it for an hour. Brackwood says chess is fun. I'm good at chess. Gray says chess, bro. Hey, Gray, it's good to see you. If you guys don't know, Gray is the master of the House of Others, with our own Nathan Coburn as the press noble within that house. So we're excited to have both of them. Our whole government is here tonight. Our whole government is here. Renonium says, on the topic of money, our army has a moderately high budget. Ooh, very cool. Congratulations, guys. Sabat says, Sabatat, says, oh, okay, I currently have 2 states which are called Ackroyd and Jumbunkia. That's cool. Ackroyd, is that named after Dan Aykroyd? How did you come up with the name? Gastanova says, bro chess. Ooh, it's a whole bunch of bros playing chess. I love it. Backwood says, hey, Gray. Lana says, I haven't played chess in a decade. Ooh, we might have an Aeternian chess tournament. Just Aeternians, just Aeternian citizens playing chess with each other. Gray says, game in the Citizens Chess chat. Ooh, very cool. Backwoods says, I'm banned from the Discord. Rip. Uh, ooh, Backwoods, what happened? Why'd you get banned? Bernonium says, the national budget is over 60 crowns. The military is around 45. Very cool. That's a solid budget. Anastasia says, I'm surprised no one has a psychedelic colored flag. You should do it, Anastasia. Or we could do like a, we could do a psychedelic, like we could do a, what do you call it? Tie-dye looking like Eternia shirt. That would be cool. Backwoods says, a few do. New German says, I'm in the Micronation military force. No, New German, don't do it. Bruv says, it's been a long time. Lots of stuff has changed. The flag, the government, the diplomacy, everything. You know it has, bruv. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate you checking in with us. We have grown, and we're continuing to grow toward our land purchase. I don't know if we were talking about a land purchase last time you were here, but we are going for land. We are a nation. We are growing. We are achieving. And we're trying to do that for all of you. So as you check in with the channel, we'll be doing more and more. Make sure to hit for those notifications to make sure you keep up with it. Okay, so Backwood says fantastical nations. Yep, fantasy nations is the whole thing. Anastasia said, or should I say a tie-dye flag? Makes sense. Lana said, greetings, Gray. Backwoods says, I saw a nation called New Weedistan, and it was just a tie-dye shirt colors with a weed plant on it, and that was their flag. That one's interesting. Jaya says, I'm back. I like chess too. Hey, Jaya, it's good to see you. Everybody's hopping in tonight. We got 15 viewers in the chat. Banging out. Ooh, very cool. Lana said, greetings, Nate. Sleepless Trash says, at Backwoods Dweller, LMAO. Bernonium says, we only have 2 counties. That is, unless we annex our colony. Ooh, so you call your territories counties. That's cool. Everybody has a different name. But then you said our colony, but there's also a colony. This is complex. Backwoods says, I posted a meme that was kind of racist and got banned, but it's okay. I deserve it. Don't post racist stuff. Like if you hit it up and you like don't hit up racist stuff or like Nazi stuff or whatever, we'll let you in. Just if you do post that, you're gonna get kicked. Don't do it. We can unban you. You just gotta not do stuff like that. Cool Guy Studios says Ameristan military only has 2 to 3 soldiers. There are only maybe like a few people that I've actually ever like banned and kept them banned, and it's just because they'd like do it again, like they'd like repeat a thing. But most of the time, if you ask me to unban you and you actually stick with like the rules, I won't continue to ban you. But the second people start jumping in on crazy stuff, I start banning. Cool Guy says, Backwoods says, my militia used to have 10 people. Jump off these militias. Ooh. Also, Backwoods, are you still applying for a citizenship license? Cool Guy says, the Ameristan... Celicia says, after much debate, my nation has selected the official anthem. Hey, congratulations. What is your official anthem? Also, 16 viewers right now. You guys, you're making me blush. Oh, my God. United Confederation says... Sabotat says, to be honest, Sabotat was started on Minecraft because I made a, quote, city in the game, but then I turned it into real life. In Minecraft, a friend of mine named a state on there. He named it Ackroyd after some athlete. Ooh, interesting. So it's after an athlete, not the comedian. I respect it. That's cool. I'm excited to learn more about it. It sounds like you already had like a culture that you developed and like stuff going on about it. You'll have to tell us more and fill us in. Also, I played Minecraft on the channel for a long time and built like little like cities and stuff like that. And that was fun. I want to play Minecraft again pretty soon. But until then, I am excited to learn more about your nation and how Minecraft helps you or hurts you in developing your nation. PTV says, from the Micronation of Trudeau says, hello Trudeau, how are you? Sabat says, athlete. Lana says, greetings, Manu. Backwoods says, I used to be racist, so I've changed. Hey, I'm glad you've changed. I know that's probably a difficult thing to change because it is like a worldview thing. How is that process? Like, how is the journey of doing that? And I would love to learn more about that because I think that's a hard thing for people to like deal with and admit and wrap their minds around that. There's so much in that. There's so much complexity to that topic of somebody identifying themselves as racist and saying, but I've changed. And what does change look like? What does change feel like? I'm curious. I do want to, I legitimately want to have a conversation about that. I would love to learn. Um, Vernonium says we have a small colony that borders Arkansas and Tennessee. Percal says hi and bye. I gotta go. Good to see you, Percal. We appreciate you. Vernonium says we have a small colony that borders Arkansas and Tennessee. That's cool. And how has that gone? Ooh, 17 viewers. We're 17 up. 17 viewers. We're 17 up. Hey, there is so many. I appreciate y'all. Oh, wow. 20 is the most we've ever had in a stream. We've never passed 20. If we had 20, that would be absolutely insane. Jaya says, want to be simple? Call your divisions places. Hey, that makes sense. Yeah, or your divisions divisions. Um, Backwoods says, LOL. Sabotat says, Jimbukia was an option of 4 we gave to the citizens. In Australian terms, Jumbuk means male sheep, and it is a suffix for land, so it would be land of sheep, which is our national animal. Ooh, that's really cool. See, you have like a whole culture and a whole thing developed. I respect that. Um, Do you guys raise sheep? Are you wanting to raise sheep? Tell me about the sheep culture and how that takes effect. Do you use wool a lot in your clothing? Like, there's so much that can be developed from that. Jaya says, I mean, no one does it. Lana says, some of the best people I've ever met were people of color. So I take strong offense to racism. Agreed. My best friend, two of my best friends, my best friend from when I was a kid, Carlos, guy's a brother to me. I love him to death. Hispanic from Honduras. My best friend Jet, right now, in real life, it's black, and I love him, and I want to talk to him about things like that sometimes as well, because I feel like there's like implicit bias and stuff like that that we all have in our lives, that does affect us, and there is like a lot of like breadth and a lot of spectrum to racism and social interaction with people. So I like talking about race with Jet, and I like the discussion of racism within our own community, and understanding how you can help to bring people out of that, because it's rough. It's rough to see the effects that racism has on people, and its lingering effects, even once it's gone from a community, can still, and not ever really gone, but once the person who has caused something to happen, has caused offense to somebody, has gone about pushing an agenda in a community, once that person may be removed from the community, there's still like this lingering effect, and there's a whole bunch from it. So when we talk about racism, when we talk about people who are racist, when we talk about racism in our own community, I want to address that directly, and I want to make sure that that's understood to, one, never be okay. And that's why we do things like ban people. That's why we do things like remove people, because we want us to have a fantastic community. We just want it to be in a way that allows everybody their open space to develop. And so we can't allow people in who are making it harder for others to be there, you know? So that's our whole point. Backwoods gave me some interesting insight, saying that he had changed his ways, or changed his way of thinking to a certain respect, and I would love to see that, because I think having someone like that in your community is potentially beneficial. Someone who can recognize their own issues and their own past with something and say, hey, I see myself in you, you person who's actively doing a racist thing. Stop. Here's why you need to stop. You may be able to reach somebody more than anybody else can, because anybody else may just say, you're saying stupid stuff. Stop saying stupid stuff. Stop hurting other people. But you might be able to get in their mind a little bit better. You may be able to get that person to change their language, and you may be an inspiration to that person. So truly, if you are working on changing your mindset and developing who you are, I want to learn about it. I really do, because that's a strong and powerful influence in our community. Is there are people who come in and cause problems, and there are people who are young in our Micronational Discord server, in our sphere of influence, who hang out on the YouTube, who are on our Twitter and Instagram, and we want to make sure those people, first off, that our community isn't becoming toxic, but more importantly than that, that we are not causing an impression to be put on younger people who will grow up and then, project the racist ideology that they heard online. So crazy important that we have people who show the right way to do things and who can be role models for the younger people in our community. But as well, It's important that we talk about it regularly as a part of combating it and as a part of understanding the people in our community. I don't think people should be shamed. I don't think people should be discriminated against. I don't think people should be hurt. And I think as people who recognize that there are issues in our own communities that we create, whether it's the Empire of Aeternia's community, whether it's another micronational community, whether it's anything in your life, work, school, if you see somebody that's dealing with that and you see somebody who is potentially being an aggressor, first off, trying to stop that aggressor, trying to de-escalate the situation is important. But trying to actually get that person who is being an aggressor to really think about their thoughts and to really have a change of heart is something that's a noble pursuit, and I think people should actively continue. I think communities as a group should make a concerted effort to try to stop that, because if you can convert somebody, if you can just get them to change their mind a little bit, that goes a long way from preventing them, or at least making them take a second to double think, rethink their spreading of hate, of negative rhetoric, of language that can be hurtful and can cause issue for a lot of people. So there's a lot that needs to be said about that, and there's always going to be a lot that needs to be said about it. But for right now, I think it's important to say that we should be trying to make that different and to improve that and to help people in our community. So thank you all for actively making that a top priority, as we do as well. Ooh. Backwood says, understandable. Vernonium says, our main national anthem is the only video on our channel as of now. Also, we have 13 viewers. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. But we'll start posting CPV, Central Vernonium Post, news videos. Very cool. PTV says, my aunt is a Rwandan genocide survivor. Jeez, how did that go? That's horrible. Please tell us more. Celicia says, my anthem is called My Country 'Tis of Thee. It's on the channel. Ooh, interesting. Kugai Studios says, our naval is mainly a John boat and a Stingray boat. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Y'all have some stuff. PTV says, AP Dance, we need this as a gift. Getting it, 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 getting it. Those are my dance moves. Gotta stay in a tight square. These are the new shoes that I'm walking. Hey, okay. Sabatat says, my Minecraft helped me because, a lot of people, mainly friends and family, joined because they wanted to play in the world. Since then, we've gained around 20 active citizens. Now we have a little over 40. Congratulations. That's a great way to develop and culture a community and to support it and to reinforce it. That's wonderful. Sabatat says, logging onto my second account right now to help you. Hey, thank you so much, Sabatat. That means a lot. Backwood says, a large part of me reforming from being racist was having an online friend for a long time, then learning they were black all along, and I was already having a conflict with my real-life racist friend. Backwood says, I was sort of really racist, contacted racist groups. That's why I knew so much about it when we talked that one thing. I'm sorry to hear about that. And that's a thing that I guess is interesting. So you were having an argument with somebody, you were having a debate or an argument with somebody who was racist, who was your friend, and did that make you not want to be that person's friend anymore? Did that make you realize something in yourself? And then as well, having a friend who is of a different race on the internet. I think that's great. I think that's a great way to have your mind changed about something, is to truly see the humanity in another person and to recognize yourself in that, to see your loves, your fears, your personality fitting and connecting to someone who is of a different race than you, and to understand that equality. It's truly a way to feel it, to feel that need for change, and I think that's beautiful. TJ's Topia said, you have 2 viewers from me now. Hey, thank you. Y'all are all boosted us so hard. Oh my gosh. I love y'all, for real. Y'all have no idea what this is doing to the watch time right now. We're getting it. Y'all are gonna help us get that 4K. PTV says, with who you speak, it can very easily make you them. Remember, kids, stands up to racism. Ooh, that seemed like a rhyme. That seemed like a bar. Hold up. With who you speak, uh, don't do it. Don't lose sleep. Okay, and we're getting in this one. Cool. Okay, so PTV says, with who you speak, it can very easily make you them. Remember, kids, stand up to racism. That was a whole Dr. Seuss rhyme. I appreciate that, PTV. Leanna said, I'm also glad you stand up to LGBTQ hate speech. Of course, it's important. One of the things that's important, you don't know someone else's sexual orientation, you don't know their gender identity, you don't know any of that stuff about somebody unless you ask them or unless they tell you. And if they tell you, you should respect it because it's just the right thing to do. But more importantly than that, just like Backwoods said, you may connect with somebody, you may have a lifelong friend, you may have a wonderful, deep connection with someone that you then find out has a specific orientation, a specific identity. And then there is this question posed that you will have to take onto yourself. Well, if I don't like gay people, if I do whatever, do you then rip that friendship apart? Do you take yourself out of that situation and remove something good and wonderful from your life just because it is different from the worldview that you have? Or do you change the worldview that you have to understand and accept someone who is different than you and see yourself in them and to care about that? It's hard. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do, but I'm saying it's important for self-growth and for understanding truly how similar we all are. So guys, if you like somebody, if you like your favorite YouTuber, your favorite athlete, your favorite whatever, you don't know who they are. So before you start, your teacher, your friends at school, your boss at work, you don't know people's gender identity. You don't know the sexual orientation. You don't know about what their personal lives are like unless you know them that closely. So don't just start spewing stuff, whether it's racist stuff, whether it's sexist stuff, homophobic stuff, anti-trans stuff, anything, because it's hurtful and you don't know the deep effect that your words have until after they've affected people. Sometimes you'll never know how deeply your words can cut somebody. Backwood says, sorry, Leanna, but you wouldn't like my channel. Leanna said, greetings to Truto. Jaya, also we have 11 viewers. We are keeping strong on this. Oh, gosh. It's not just a story. It's a wee whoop. Oh, good golly gosh. Okay. And so, yeah, I appreciate everybody grinding with us through the 11:24 mark. We are almost to 2 hours watch time. If we could keep that 12, that 15, that 17 up through 2 hours, you guys, we'd have over 24 hours of watch time. We'd hit it. Yeah. All right. Backwards says, sorry, Leanna, you wouldn't like my channel. Jaya says, I generally tried to explain what's wrong with racism to someone in my YouTube comment recently. It's hard. Like, it's weird because you can try to logic it, but that person feels like they're logicking you back. So it's a weird debate. It is based on perspective. It is so hard based on personal perspective that it throws logic out the window a lot of the time. So it's hard to argue with someone and convince them not to be racist. Renonium says, there are countless edgelords in this community. There are, and it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to deal with because there are plenty of people who it's just because they're young and impressionable and not necessarily because they have these like super deeply entrenched values that won't be shaken. It's a lot of time because who they're hanging out with, what they're doing, why they're doing it. And a lot of time people change. Like there are plenty of people who just hit me up and like posted something on the Discord and I'll ban them. And then they're like, I actually don't feel that way and I don't know why I posted that and I want back in. Like, please let me back in. And most of the time, they never do it again. It's just a, once you realize somebody has a legitimate problem with what you're doing, you go, oh no. And I think a lot of the time that can be a lot of what racism is as well. There are certainly people with deep founded hatred in their hearts, but I think there are a lot of people also who just don't understand how deeply the context of what they're saying and how deeply what they're saying can hurt other people. They don't understand the depth of it sometimes. So that can be hard. It's hard to talk about that. It's hard to get people to understand your perspective sometimes. Um, PTV says, I guess my nation are kind of oppressed, but it's more negative stereotypes. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, PTV. Do you feel like Trudeau specifically? Do you feel like Poland as a whole? Sabatat says, I personally am Christian, but I hate people that share my religion and criticize people of different beliefs. I'm happy for everyone to share their own opinions. And that's how it should be. And we're glad that you have the ability to share your opinion. And we're excited to have you as a part of this equal discussion and this discourse that we need to have as a community. We can disagree with each other, we can have different perspectives, but us all knowing that we have a similar direction we're trying to go, similar growth goals and similar hopes and dreams, similar base needs as human beings, I think is like really important to recognize, and it's something that can be almost invaluable as a part of developing who you are as a human being. So I say with that, definitely have your own opinions, have your own belief system, and recognize when people are being hypocrites, but also accept and love people. And understand that your right to your belief system entitles other people to theirs. Sabatat, Backwoods says, I'm sorry to say I sort of became friends with Greenistan and talked to him a lot, and now one of his emojis on his server is a swastika. Ooh, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool. I was gonna say, that's one of the things that's weird. I was gonna say, there's somebody who I banned recently for a swastika on there. Yep. PTV says the swastika in my profile pic was worn by the Goro Polish Mountain Force when fighting the Nazis. I understand. PTV. That's what I was gonna say. There was somebody that I banned recently who had a Nazi, swastika profile picture. We just don't want it at all. We just don't want it at all. Like, don't post any swastikas, anything that could be connected to Nazi imagery or a racist ideology. You can, because it's a thing about effect, right? Like, you may not always be able to explain your thing or whatever to people every single time, but it's going to still hurt a lot of people. When they see that, they're going to go, oh, I don't want to be a part of this community. There's a guy with a swastika right there in his thing. So I feel like it's just more about saying we're not going to nitty gritty pick through every detail about which one is okay, but which context is not okay. We're just saying no. Don't post Nazi stuff. Don't post things that have connections to that or connections to racist ideology and stuff like that. If it just becomes too much and too noticeable, we will remove it. We just try and blanket sweep that so that it's not unfair to anyone, that the rules are evenly applied. Yeah, it's rough. Backwoods says, I'm Christian, I don't care if you're LGBTQ, but one thing I don't like is when people say the rainbow is only for LGBTQ. It's God's promise. Yeah, sure. I don't think anybody's like, it's only this thing. Symbols are what we take symbols to be. In Hindu, the rainbow may mean something else. And, in Buddhism, the rainbow will mean something else. It's about identity. It's about culture. Gay people took it up as a symbol, and so did Christianity. That's okay. They can be different. And they can still support each other's view of that. PTV says, and also, you don't have to be, you can be gay and Christian. That's also that you can be trans and Christian. It's a whole thing. And there are plenty of people who are. Going back now and trying to find all the things. Backwoods says, I know Trudeau. Vernonium says, we don't allow same-sex marriage in Vernonium, though the act of being homosexual isn't illegal. Interesting. Will you recognize same-sex marriages from other countries in Vernonium? So if somebody is, married as a same-sex couple in Aeternia and they went to Vernonium, would you recognize them as a married couple? So, for example, if somebody like went to a hospital or whatever in Vernonium, would they be allowed to see their partner who they're married to uh, in your nation? Um, Sabotat says, "Oh, how Sabotats our home. The flag is flying high. All deserve liberty and equity, saved from the greed that once was restored. We shall live our lives peacefully, not to be provoked. We shall fight." Ooh, I imagine their this is their anthem, which this is a great beat to do an anthem to, by the way. We're doing Sabotat's anthem to this free for profit pink beat. Together we will rise. We live together, governing ourselves. Democracy is restored. Greedy countries can't aboard. Ooh, fight for what is right. We shall be on the top, right? Question mark. All eight stripes flying high. Ooh, Sabotat, get it. Backward says, Isaac number 5455, I would like if I could get unbanned. Absolutely. I will hit you up. I got you guys. Hey. Um, let me. I want to like write down everybody's stuff so that I remember it. Give me 1 second to open a new tab and do this. Gosh. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one and then I'll just write it there. Number what? 5455. Okay. So Sabotage says together, yep. Vernonio says, we believe in the Bible and that marriage is sacred. No, that's fair. But would you recognize a same-sex couple in Vernonia that was married through another nation? Sabotage said, we shall never say goodbye. I imagine that's the ending of their anthem. Backward says, I used to be so racist that I left a few dislikes on your videos with Jet. I'm sorry to hear that. I love Jet. Jet's like I said, one of my best friends, and I that's like my brother. That's my friend. That's somebody who has been there through a lot with me, and personally in my life has helped me a lot. So I understand, you saying that that's who I used to be, and that's it, you're acknowledging that now as a past tense thing, and I appreciate that. I'm glad now that hopefully that won't be the same thought process for you. But the thing that sucks worst about that, I think, is like obviously I'm like upset and I'm hurt to find that out just because he's someone who's so close to me and I care about him. But also, I feel like it's sad because if you didn't ever like I hope you get to one day, talk to Jet, whether it's through a live stream or what have you. He's a cool guy. And I think, he's not just a cool guy, he's a very, very cool guy. And I think it's sad that like if you had kept your ideology the way that it was and hadn't opened your mind a little bit, you would always just think based on your perception of him, based on how you see him, that you wouldn't like him and that there's some problem with him. But he's great. He's like really cool and one of the nicest people you ever meet, one of the most helpful people you will ever meet, one of the most insightful people you will ever meet. We have our whole like friendship is based around like emotional deep talk stuff. It's a whole thing. He's great, and I am only sad that past version of you did not give him a chance to know him, and I hope that changes. PTV says, have people here people are very racist to Roma. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Vernonium says, are you talking about Romani people? Trudeau says, yes. Vernonium says, oh, okay. Nathan says, chess in voice chat. Backwood says, I had a deep hatred. I used the Bible to justify my hatred. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard. I think a lot of the time people do that. They get into a specific ideology and then consider themselves to be using logic by just finding viewpoints that like agree with their ideology or that help reinforce the thoughts that they have. So then they go, yeah, see, here's my evidence for why I'm right. But it's really just support from other people who believe the same thing, or talking points from other people who believe the same thing, without actually looking at it from a wider stance. Um, PTV says, by my nation, I mean girls, which are an ethnic minority I was born into. Dang. Jaya says, I tried to explain it to this YouTube person. They said that they believe races should be separated. It's like segregation? Weird. Weird. Jaya says, I asked YouTube person if they ever connected with someone with different skin. I got no answer. Yeah, I imagine they either haven't or they don't, they don't know. Leona says the swastika was originally a symbol of the sun, but the way the Nazis used it permanently stained its meaning. Agreed, Leona. I completely agree with you. That's one of the things that's weird about it is how symbols change context. That's something that you and I talked about a while back because we were talking about, I believe, the term patriotism being associated with right-wing extremism. And that being a big difficulty for people because you're like, why should my views, considering myself patriotic, be immediately brand me as like a right wing extremist? And it's like, well, just because that's how it adapted over time. It's not that having that does in fact make you, identifying with that symbol does in fact make you a part of that organization, but it takes a lot of backpedaling to refute, you know what I mean? That just because of how it is widely identified now. Jaya says, yeah, I remember seeing someone in Discord with a profile pic of a swastika. In those situations, I'd want to know the reason behind choosing to use the symbol. Agreed. We ban people who have that. We probably banned the person who you saw with that. Because even if they have like a good reason for it or whatever, there's not a good reason for it. If you want to talk about those things, if you want to share those images or whatever, do so privately. Do so to people outside of the server. But when you start just posting it in the general, when you start, putting it as your profile picture, it's not okay because that affects everybody then who's in the server. People have to jump on the server and see it, and so it's hard. It's the same reason we don't allow like super gory stuff, like crazy like images and stuff like that, is because there has to be some moderation to allow for everybody to coexist peacefully. Um, the United Confederation of Silesia says many cultures use swastika as a cultural symbol. Yep, it's just that one of them really sealed the branding for it in a negative way, and so it stained it, like Leona said. PTV says, no, I know what you're saying. I was going to change it anyway, but yeah, I will change it. Thank you very much, Shuto. Backwoods says, every European culture uses swastika as a symbol of the sun, and my state Mississippi used it to have a swastika-like thing in its coat of arms. Hindus, for example, it's like their cross. Interesting. Yeah, that's a hard thing. But it did get just branded, it got branded as a specific thing. Oh no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay. We did it for 4/6 of the 1/3 of the song, 2/3 of the ad. Backwoods Renonium says this is kind of complicated. The Christian definition of marriage is between a man and a woman, but they can claim that they're married if they choose so. Comment one of two. Interesting. Jaya says, I'd still judge their choice to use swastika, but not so much before I learn why. Fair. Renonium says if they claim that, we would classify it as a boyfriend-girlfriend level of relationship, but wouldn't say it's a marriage. Comment 2 of 2. Interesting. So would that limit their rights as like a married couple? So for example, boyfriends and girlfriends, if your significant other as a boyfriend or girlfriend gets into, a serious car accident or something, they may not allow you back there to see them if they restrict visitation to only friends and family, to only family. Only to like the closest people to them. Spouses, on the other hand, though, have inherent rights to be able to see their loved ones. So, does that actually entail that? How does that work with people who are married and have kids? Do you identify those as those people's kids still? Like, how does that work? Backwood says, is Jed a cool? Yes, Jed is a cool man. Agreed. PTV says, is Jet the guy from the Nick Benson channel? Yes, he is. He sure is. He's one of my best friends. A fantastic guy. Backwoods says, next time Jed's on stream, I'm going to be like, hey, Jed, I used to hate your guts. Yeah, it would be interesting. I'm curious to see his reaction on that. Because it is I think he would have a unique reaction. I really think you'd be surprised. Jet, on a number of situations, like I said, I think we've talked about like race-based issues, and he always surprises me. He always has interesting insights. He always has something that I wouldn't have thought the conversation would have directed toward. But I'm excited to see that. I really hope you do. Sabotat says, nice introduction, Backwoods. Agreed. It is aggressive, but it gets the point across. Jaya says, how different would the Bible be if written sometime later? Ooh, that is interesting. PTV says, I've talked to Eustace and self-proclaimed, KKK members and managed to get them banned from Discord. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. You should actively try to remove people who are going about spreading hate and are trying to recruit other people for hateful things. Remium says they would be able to visit if the person affected consents to them being there. Anybody could be in the hospital if the person affected consents to it. But what about like if they're unconscious? You know what I mean? What if there's like a surgery or like something that needs to happen? Leanna says LOL, and again, like people's kids. It's just a whole thing. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into like the benefits of somebody being married, like taxation purposes and stuff like that. You know, are those things the same? What about people who have lived together for like a certain period of time, right? Like, it's a whole thing. These are all great questions. But yeah, I appreciate it. I wanted to play. I plugged. We already have the new packaging. We still have. I need to double check, but I believe we still have one mark of the owl. One owl's mark left for sale, still on our Etsy. We had somebody who bought two and then canceled one because they didn't realize they bought two. So we should still have one left, and I'm excited to see who buys that. But this is an interesting stage for Eternia. I'm kind of starting to wind down the stream a little bit, but I just wanted to talk for a second about kind of what's so important about this stage of development for Eternia. First off, PTV says, I think Jet is sure a Chad. I like weird news. Yeah, Jet does do weird nerd news. It's cool. Lana says, I'll be playing about this. If it's not equality, it's bigotry or racism. Agreed. I think we're all in agreement about that, Leanna, 100%. Well, I don't know about all of us. I know I'm in agreement with that, Leanna, 100%. I think we should all be in agreement about that. PTV says weird news. Yeah. The stage that we're in, as far as growth and development for Eternia, is weird because we are actively trying to develop these new systems for ourselves, these new ways for us to grow. But while we're doing that, we're having a situation where there's so much happening at once that I can't update you guys, and there's a lot of missed information and missed stuff. So one of my personal objectives is to try to bring that full circle, to try and help to make sure we get more of that data out to you guys quicker, and to make sure that we really develop ourselves to be able to take on this extra traffic that we're getting, this extra support that we're getting, and all of the exciting projects we're getting up to. We want to be able to cover all this for you guys, and we want to make sure that everything's solid for y'all, but we don't want to do that without it being something that's good for everybody. So still in the works, still things that are trying to be figured out, but a lot of the time we're making moves and needing to solidify things all the way through before we can even get around to filming them or talking about them. That's why I like doing these live streams, because I can just spurt out information to you guys in some sense and just call it all micronational news, because it is. But it becomes a larger... jumping on the, ooh, it's a free for profit trap B. Woo. Um, trying to get all that together for you guys as we continue to grow is a challenge for us. And I want to eventually make content even talking about some of those challenges, the challenges of improving, and the challenges of when things are going well. Because yes, things are going very well for us. We're very proud of where you all have allowed us to be and what we are doing now. But in that case, we are still having some difficulty. We are still having issues trying to fully equip ourselves to handle the next stage of our development and of our growth. So it's a learning process, and just like all of our learning processes, we want you all to benefit from that and to learn from our mistakes. Um, Real quick, I want to hit everybody up. Brenonium says, everybody in Brenonium, whether visiting or they are a citizen, have the protection of the Constitution, and that's the basis for everyone. That's great. I'm glad to hear about that. Sabotat says, how would they give consent to Brenonium if they were in a coma or on life support, nearly dead? Agreed, Sabotat. That's what I was talking about. Those cases where you have inherent rights as a married person that you may not as a friend or something like that. As well, what about decisions? You know what I mean? If your partner for 30 years, if you're married for like 30 years or whatever, and then you go to Brenonium and you have a heart attack and you die, well, the Vernonium officials go to you and say, hey, your partner died, or your boyfriend or girlfriend died, and you go, I know what their will and testament was, I know what I want done to their body and stuff, but you go, oh, they're not, you were their boyfriend or girlfriend, you weren't their husband or wife, so you may not have rights to determine what happens to their body or whatever, like their family would. So it's a tough thing. Jaya says, I mean, what if the Bible did try to explain the world, but a lot of explanation potential wasn't possible because of the limitations of understanding at the time? I completely agree with that. I think that's what develops a lot of our culture and a lot of our storytelling through the cultures that we have, are people trying to explain things, trying to understand things, and trying to make lessons and to share their experiences through a means of entertainment, through a means of connection to a culture and to a community. That's the way that we did things. That's the way that we learn. That's the way that we develop. But it has improved so dramatically from then to now. So there is a whole lot to delve into with, are these things, how accurate are these things to what the people saw versus what they are in real life. Backwood says, when I was going through that, I joined the KKK's Youth Crusader group. It was strange asking them to get my name off the list. I imagine it's not that strange for them. I think there are probably a lot of people who do stuff like that and who join stuff like that when they're younger and then be like, oh, I have to get like a job, and they're gonna like look into stuff, and my name can be Googled as a part of that. Like you can find me on a registered list of supporters or whatever for like a neo-Nazi group. That's terrible. You should not have that at all. So I think a lot of people would do stuff like that and then would backpedal. I'm sure they're not surprised by that at all. But it's a shame that they're supporting kids trying to join their racist hate group. That's, ugh. Leata says, good question, Sabotat. Vernonium, agreed, that is a good question. Vernonium says, it's a complicated process to say the least. It seems like there's so many what-if scenarios that can happen. Agreed. And that's why I think a lot of the time nations recognize the marriages from other nations, because even if your laws are different, those people still need a way to live and interact as they have in their country, but protected by your laws. Otherwise, it can cause like an international incident when two different nations' laws are fighting over one individual that's, in a visiting nation or something. Lana says, Manu, have you ever read the Gospel of Thomas? Interesting. Backwoods says, Kingdom of Vernonium, you really remind me of Switzerland. I think that every time you were here. PTV says, the heretical book. Interesting. Leanna says, that's the one, Trudeau. Trudeau says, it's a weird book for sure. I see that Islam got influenced by it. Mainly Jesus talking as a baby thing. Sabotat says, I have a constitutional right called right of equal opportunities, which means no matter your gender or race. Ooh. Uh, you are supported? Interesting. Leanna says also the Nag Hammadi scriptures. Ooh, I'm learning about all sorts of religious stuff. Um, Federation of Silesia says a group of citizens in my country have formed the Federalist Party. And how does that work in your confederation? Backwood says, "Oh, I have to get a job." Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like companies have agencies that work for them that just look up people's online track record and try and figure out who you are. And anytime you're a part of like an email subscriber thing, anytime you're a part of like a registered group or whatever, they can figure it out. They will find it. And it's interesting. PTV says, I like the way Jojo Rabbit roasts Nazis. Uh, Interesting. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit. I know that's a movie that came out like last year, isn't it? I know it was about World War II. I know it was like a comedy thing about like Nazis. I I haven't seen it. I think even at the time I was like debating whether or not it was going to be good and whether I actually cared about seeing it. Let me know. Is it good? I don't know. Um, hmm, these are the questions. But yeah. One of the things that people ask us a lot of the time, that people talk about a lot of the time, is what Eternia is and what its different motivations are. Um, One of the things that I think people don't. Ooh, no. One of the things that people don't really peg us for, but that is a big part of our personality and what we've been doing since the beginning of our channel and since the beginning of our nation, is technology. We have been constantly grinding on technology, which is what you can see here. We have when you first join the Empire of Aeternia and you get on our webpage here at eternianempire.wixsite.com/imperial market. It's in our description if you want to check it out. You go here and you see this big, beautiful map of this person, a big, beautiful picture of this person standing amongst the stars. And the reason for that is Eternia is a technological micronation, among many other things. We have a culture, we have this dedication to economy and all these specifics and interests that we have, but we also play a big role in our technology. My own personal interest in it is a lot of that, but as well because it is a way for us to strive forward and a way for us to move forward. So, and a way for us to progress easier, to make life easier for our citizens and for the people who are helping us. So, turn our efforts into more and more production at an easier rate. So as we continue doing that and as we continue pushing forward, check out those videos and make sure to, if you don't know much about the past of what we've done and how we've been developing technologically, go and check out our channel. We've done things with forging. We've done things with creation of high voltage circuits. We've done things with creation of like motorized circuits for doing like automation and like winding, making different machines. We've done a good number of things. We've done like optics experiments and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, definitely go check it out. We've done tests on like thrusters and like craft for just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm excited to be pushing forward with. That'll be new things for the channel that you guys haven't seen yet. And there's a lot that we've already done. So if you're hype about the stuff that we have done, go check out that because we're going to be coming up with some more stuff very quickly. PTV says, I like the way Jojo Rabbit roasts Nazis. Jaya says, if you're young and racist, 1, please don't be racist. That's the most important. Ding, ding, ding. 2, if you're still racist, at least don't join one of those organizations until you're older. Don't join one of those organizations at all, because again, as it is, they're still going to track you down. But yeah, agreed. You should give yourself as much time to really think about that as you can before committing to it, because once you commit to it, it's hard to pull out of that, as I'm sure Backwoods will tell you. Lana said, yes. Kingdom of Vernonia says, okay, or just don't join one at all, and I agree with that. Jaya says, I really want to see that movie. PTV says, and the ending is hella sad. Oh. Jaya says, I haven't been able to see Jojo Rabbit. I also haven't. Sabotat says, does Eternia have a website? Sabotat does, but I don't know if I'm allowed to put it up here because a lot of streams don't allow links. We also don't allow links, but we do have a website right here. It's in the description. You can check it out. EternianEmpire.wixsite.com/Imperial Market. Backwoods says Eternia has a website. Bernonium says, in the American town across the border, there's a small group of Norwegian supremacists. Oh, weird. Are they like white supremacists or specifically Norwegian? They're like Norway is the best. That's such a niche racism. Sabatat says, oh. Leana says the Nag Hammadi scriptures have a different creation story from what's in the Bible. It's very interesting. It sounds interesting. Did you like it? Like, did you feel like that was something that you like grew your interest in reading it, or do you feel like it made you turn away from it? Do you feel like it made you lose interest potentially? These are my curiosities. Also, I just think this is a beautiful background with the cloud and everything. We're chilling in the sky and we're hanging with you guys, or we're trying to figure out all these politics, trying to make moves on some new sticks, trying to break brooms on some new flicks, because we're trying to watch movies that people recommend in the chat. Sabat says, oh, Lana says, Jaya says, what about being Norwegian for them? Yeah, I'm curious. Africano joined in and said, how hard or easy did you design your flag? It wasn't very hard at all. We actually used Photoshop, and I would love to do a tutorial on how we made our flag, how we make other emblems and stuff, and how we want to continue to design stuff like that. But yeah, I would be very excited to talk to you more about that, Africano, as well. If you haven't joined our Discord, Twitter, Instagram, all that, you should. Links in the description, plugs in the description, of course. But you should definitely check us out. Also, Africano, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to us. Get those numbers up for us, please. Backwood says, I live in Mississippi and I'm 30 minutes away from the clan capital of the state and an hour away from the founding building of the clan, so they are prevalent here. Absolutely. And that's a tough thing, too. When it's something that's so entrenched in your local area, that's a tough thing to combat. But I'm proud of you, Backwoods. If you are actively fighting that, and if you are actively against it and not supporting it, that's great, because that means that the people who are being targeted by those groups, it doesn't seem like you're a targeted, race within that group. You're not a targeted identifier for that group. But you can help people who are in your area. You can make a difference to reject those hate groups and to support the people who desperately need it and who are trying to fight an institution and who are trying to fight, in their own social circles to make clarity and to make equality for themselves in a system that's entrenched with this hate group, that has been founded and cultured by this hate group. So you are turning the tides. You are making the difference every day if you want to. And you can be that support for those people. And you can change the narrative. You can run them out of town if you believe in yourself and if you get enough people together. You can make it to where nobody remembers their name. And that is what's most important. Now, I don't think this is our pink. It sure is not. I want that pink, please. Let me go back to this one. I like this one. But yeah. Ooh, lots of stuff. Also, 10 people. Thank you guys for joining us. We got 10 people hanging out with us. PTV. Vernonium says the Norwegian ethnicity. Weird. Backwood says some Klansmen come on a pilgrimage to Mississippi. Horrible. Also, Backwoods, you're not too far from us. If you're in Mississippi, I think we've already looked on the map. You're not too far from us. What's going on, man? Hit us up. I would love to talk to you about stuff. PTV says, I live in an LGBT free zone. That's horrible. What? LGBT, well, is like they don't want LGBTQ people there? That's weird. Or is it LGBT support? I'm very confused. Backwoods says, What you just said reminded me of the meme of the Asian guy saying, "This is a no." Uh, oh goodness, that's terrible. Jaya says, "See, I don't find some forms of racism unusual." Ooh, hold on. Ooh, sorry, I'm gonna full screen this. Boop, and there we go. Uh, Jaya said, "See, I don't find some forms of racism unusual because I've heard of them a lot. But when something new comes along, like the Norwegian thing, it just feels weird." Agreed. It's like, why is it so specific? It reminds me that racism is just dumb. Agreed. It's so centered on someone's ideology. You know, it's so their worldview may be so small that they can't see the bigger picture. It's hard. It's really hard. Celicia says, "My micronation is a federal presidential constitutional republic." That's really cool, Celicia. And how do you feel about it? Like, how does that help you? PTV says, "There's a religious sect here near that believes Poles are the chosen people and they should rule the world." Weird. Again, why? What's up with this? Sabatat says, "Also, don't tweet anything. I knew someone who wanted to be a basketball player, but the employer researched him and found a racist tweet from his early teens." Yes, that is a whole thing that can happen. Social media, be careful on social media because it can just get you. Renonium says, "Surprise, surprise, I live in a trailer park. Who would have guessed?" Oh, got him. Backwood says, "Actually, AP is not that niche. It's common. For example, a lot of racists are Scandinavian races, Anglo races. They only care about Scandinavia or England." Interesting. There's a common thing in racist groups of hating Slavic people, French people, or Italian people, even though they are white. But most Italian racism is actually because they are Catholic. Also interesting. Sabatat says, "My country is technically a parliamentary monarchy. I am the ruler, but every other one of the political places are voted democratically. There are 25. Ooh. PTV says, "Mia Slav," and then does the face. Got him. Backwood says, "And there's also Slavic supremacists, Hyperboreans, that believe that only Slavic people are holy." Interesting. Lana says, "I just felt like the Bible, the way it was written, didn't really make sense. So I started buying books that had excluded biblical books to find the truth." Ooh. And do you feel like you learned a lot? PTV says, "What even makes you a Slav? DNA, culture, and language?" Backwards is the DNA, Slavic people groups. Interesting. PTV says, "Yeah, I'm a Slav." Jaya says, "I think different races are mostly a man-made concept. There's no big difference. It's like hair color." Agreed. It's a whole thing. But people love to grip to that so tight. Renonium says, "I have a German first and last name, so I'm pretty sure I'm ethnically Western European." Interesting. Backwood says, "The clan youth group has hesitant to accept me because I have both Jewish first and last name, but I showed them that I'm 56% German." That's so weird, though. Like, first off, don't be joining these groups. Stop. Like not only don't be joining the groups, be reversing it hard. I think you're already saying that you don't like these groups and that you aren't joining them and you aren't trying to support them. Don't. Um, but also, um, it's it's so weird. They should not be recruiting kids at all. Mantis said, "Well, I live in Trinidad and Tobago, more or less an extremely diverse country, and doesn't have much racism. However, we are definitely not crazy about the LGBTQ stuff." What's up, Mantis? How are you? Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Uh, that's that's not good. What, like, how does that work? Mantis says, "Personally, I'm not a supporter for LGBTQ stuff, but I definitely don't think we should kill or imprison these people." Agreed. I mean, people are people, but also, it's a worldview thing. Like, how many gay or lesbian or transgender people have you been around personally? That may affect how you view those people. Because it's easy to like otherize people. It's easy to be like, I've never seen any of them, or the only context I've seen these people in are bad, so I assume all these people are bad, or I don't like all of them because of this particular part of my culture or whatever. Um, it's interesting when you actually meet people though who are different than you and you interact with other cultures, how you'll notice similarities, how you'll notice connections to yourself. And it's just hard to hate anyone really when you're just talking to them one on one, and they aren't a hateful person. Jaya says, "Racist people have a group of qualities to reject. Each racist person has a different set of qualities." Agreed. Mitch said, "We should help them with therapy and stuff, you know?" Agreed. Oh, Oh, with gay no, no. I thought you were talking about racist people. Yeah, racist people, you should get like therapy to deal with that. Gay people, trans people, all that, they're who they are. They're people. They're doing their thing. They don't need therapy and stuff. Well, everybody may need therapy as far as like just emotional therapy, like just to deal with your own personal life. But being gay, being LGBTQ, being trans, doesn't inherently there's nothing wrong with that, and that needs to be said. Lana, it's sad that that needs to be said, but that needs to be said. Lana says, I learned more from the excluded books. That's what's accepted in the Bible. Vernonium says, agreed. Vernonium says, science is catching up with the Bible. Backwood says, I think race doesn't matter, like hair color. Backwood says, Nazis. Well, I agree. Brown hair is bad. Interesting. Um, Goodness. PTV says, what does supporting LGBT mean? I think they mean LGBT. Yeah, Q people, gay people. It's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer. Mantis says, true, true, very wise words, man. I appreciate it. Brenonium says, I have one gay friend. He's just a regular dude. Brenonium says, but still don't like the concept of homosexuality. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just regular people. You know what I mean? Like, it's never gonna affect you. Like what they do is never gonna affect you. It's never gonna be something that like causes you problems or whatever. So to me, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to have like a discrepancy or argument because there's so much benefit that a person can bring to your life, whether it's a working relationship, a friendship, a business relationship. All these different things can be developed. Supporting your interests. Becoming a part of your micronation. Like if you're trying to get people who are really talented and really successful to support you and to help you, you should accept that from all walks of life. Because when you start limiting this ideology of yours to I'm only going to accept these people, I only really like these people or whatever, want to do things with these people, you're cutting out so much talent, you're cutting out so many unique perspectives that may be able to reach people you would have never thought of in your life and really hit on things and talk to you about things and get your mind working on things that you would have never even thought you'd be talking about, having conversations about. That person may be able to help you, with something you've always wanted to do in your life. You may be like, I've always wanted to ride a horse or whatever. I never have gotten to ride a horse before. And that person may be like, yeah, my family owns a ranch. We like love riding horses or whatever. We do it all the time. Come on and we'll let you ride a horse or whatever. Like, you don't know what kind of crazy opportunities in your life are going to be found just by making someone a friend and just by going out and reaching out to people who are of a different culture or different interest group than you. Backwood says, being 4% Native American used to give me an identity crisis. Interesting. Did you feel racist toward Native American people? Backwood says, I agree with Vernonium. I don't agree with it, but I don't care. Makes sense. PTV says, same. Mantis says, yeah, likewise, I believe the Bible is against it and I believe in it. But the Bible says, hate the sin, but never the sinner as much as possible. Backwards said, up. Sabatat says, I'm not going to sleep yet, but I'm getting tired because it's 1:10 a.m. Yeah, it is. It is hella late. I appreciate you guys hanging out on stream for so long. We've been on for a long time, and you guys have helped the watch time like chugga up. So thank you guys for that. Mantis said that's what more people should do: learn to separate the personality from the person. I guess so, but I think what's interesting is those people don't believe that they're doing anything wrong, and they're not. You know what I mean? Like, it's also interesting because it's a rule that your culture has imposed, right? Which is fine, but you also should understand that that person doesn't have that cultural rule. That doesn't affect them, so they don't. I think one thing that's really hard for a lot of people is trying to impose other cultures on each other. And I think going to other people of other cultures, learning about their culture, and trying to understand things from their culture is important, but never putting your culture on someone else. And I think that can be hard to do and make the distinction of being like, well, I just want people to recognize my culture, so I'm going to push my culture on them, instead of like you going out to learn and accept other cultures, trying to show your culture to other people and press that as important can be an interesting road to travel down, because people sometimes think it's like a positive thing and think they're helping, but it can be harmful. Something to worry about, something to think about. Backwood says, I agree. Leanna said, wow, if you guys feel that way about gays, I can only imagine what you think of me being trans. Yeah, and Leanna is just a wonderful person. Leanna has people in her life who care about her. Leanna has us, an entire country, who cares and supports her. She is a very well-known and famous person in our nation. She's our first aristocrat. She's the most wealthy and successful person monetarily in our empire. She's a celebrity to us. She's cool. And we are honored to have her as a part of our nation. So that's one of those things, right? Where it's definitely important to listen to other people and to think about what it is that they're saying, but also to understand that other cultures and other groups are just going to have people that are very different than you. And so sometimes you don't know who you're talking to or what you're saying in a certain context around a group of people. Or you may not realize how much that would affect those group of people. Backwood says 21 likes. Man, yeah, I'm excited. Mantis said, yeah, it's 110 by me too. I'm very close to nodding off. I understand, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for grinding so hard to help us get this watch time up. That's all thanks to you. You could have left earlier, but you stuck around, which helps us and makes us grow, and I want you to know that that's appreciated. You are appreciated for that. Mantis says, yes, at the end of the day, more or less, we should just let people choose their own free will, as was given to everyone. Agreed, 100% Mantis. Backwood says, also there's a group of Dixiecrats that despise blacks and Cajuns, so rip AP. Yeah, rip me, right? That's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But at the same time, living it, doing it, being me. And that's good. I'm proud of that. But I will say, Backwoods, I would love to talk to you more. I'd love to learn more about you. And I know you're not that far from us. So it would be cool if we could like hit up a thing at some point and like make some connections. You're somebody who's been more dedicated in the chat. You've been somebody who's talked to us more, and especially hearing about like your new way of thinking about things and wanting to expand some of your ideas and your ideology. I definitely support that, and I see a positive change, and I'm excited about it. And I want to reach out. I would love to connect to you and to learn more about you and to potentially do something with the channel or to try and have you take a larger role and stuff. Multiple things. There's a few things that are important to mention in the chat. PTV says our language is kind of being repressed. I'm sorry to hear about that. Is it Gallic? Mantis said, Lana, hey, I'm sorry if I said anything offensive. I truly didn't mean to divide us or anything. You seem pretty good in the stream. Hey, absolutely. And I appreciate you being open to that and understanding your effect and your words. Thank you for being accepting and understanding. Mantis, you're cool. Like, I'm glad we're able to have open conversations. You should feel comfortable stating your opinion and talking to people about it because you are doing it respectfully. And that's the most important thing. Whether we disagree with each other, whether we have differences, respecting those differences and acknowledging each other and each other's feelings is important in getting through that and having a conversation which teaches us all something. I know more about you now. I am more well-versed in, in the nature of this channel, in you personally, and in the world now that I've talked to you. So thank you for your participation in this conversation, and I want you to know it's important to be able to have those discourses. And I think that's good. Backwoods says, you could have left earlier. Yeah, I don't think so. Hey, Backwoods, I appreciate you. Lana says, I'm good for another hour. Mantis says, Emperor AP, what ethnicity are you? Let me Google the definition of ethnicity because I want to make sure I get this right. I'm not sure what the difference between race and ethnicity is. Ethnicity definition. The fact, ooh, ethnicity. The fact or state of belonging to a social group that has a common national or cultural tradition. So I would say by birth, I am from the United States specifically, so I'm an American. Specifically, I am from Louisiana. I was born and raised a Cajun in Cajun culture, so South Louisiana, French, Creole, Native American, um, some like African cultures mixed into that. Cajun, specifically, I think Cajun French, but Cajun. Um, then now I identify though as Eternian. Like it's this is the thing that I've created. This is the thing that I've developed. Ethnically, I am Eternian now. But that has developed. I will always have my Cajun roots. I will always be supportive of those Cajun roots. And I think it's an important part of my identity. So I hope that answers your question. Ethnically, I am Cajun and I am Eternian. Um, and that's crazy to think about. I am Eternian. I'm Eternian. That's wonderful. I'm Eternian with Leanna. I'm Eternian with Gray. I'm Eternian with Steven. I'm Eternian with Nathan. I'm Eternian with all of you out there. Wow. Leanna said, PTV says, oftentimes schools teach it's a bad language. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, that's weird. It's weird to say that something's a bad language. What makes a language good or bad? PTV says, oftentimes schools teach bad. Sabatat says, I recently passed a law in my nation making the main domesticated animals some rights and one to its citizenship. What do you guys think about that? I'm looking for outside opinions. I did a live stream a long time ago, maybe a year or two probably 2 years ago on the channel, talking about artificial intelligence and robot rights and stuff like that, AI rights. I feel like this is on a similar path. I feel like animals can have rights and citizenships. It just needs to be something that works within the breadth of that animal's capabilities and works for them. Um, Kingdom of Vernonium says, I think it's kind of a bridge too far. Lana says, Mantis, people are going to say what they're going to say. I've developed a thick skin, and that's fair. And it's tough. It really is. Well, Mantis said, I'm more or less of a more or less. Uh, I'm more or less more of black, but definitely have a fair amount of East Indian in me. Again, our country is really mixed up race-wise. Yeah, but that's good though, right? You have a lot of diversity. Mantis, what does that mean for you? The area specifically within your country. Do you feel like coming from a specific region of? I think you said Sri Lanka. Does that? No, you said. Myanmar. Being from a specific part of Myanmar, uh, does that make you feel different about your ethnicity? Is that different in your ethnicity, like from the specific like area that you're from within your nation? Backwood says I started a micronational business that's basically just trade, and I think uh, my people is and I think my people still have some ideas left over from my uh, uh, Miltsma, right. Backwood says they are very nationalistic about a company. Um, huh. How is that working? And has it worked so far? Um, PTV says Goralic, due to being repressed, is dying rapidly. The Catholic Church banned it, and government institutions banned it too. In the modern day, like right now, it's like a no-no. Like people don't mess with it. That's crazy. Um, Sabatat says these animals are dogs, cats, lizards, geckos, sheep, and rabbits. Which one got its citizenship? New German said, oop. Okay. Let me see here. Ooh. Um, New German said good night. Good night, Andrew. Vernonium says, I'm a Vernonian nationalist. Ooh, how does that work? PTV says, I'm Goral nationalist and I hope we get an autonomous region. How does that work? Mantis says, of course, again, I totally agree with what you were saying, man. Definitely don't let preconceived notions dictate your life because you may miss out on a lot of stuff. Agreed. And thank you for supporting us, Mantis Shadow. I want you to know that means a lot, and I'm excited to see you back in another stream. I want to continue our conversation. Backwoods says, nationalism is cool, but my people have become very, very nationalistic about my micro company, like almost like the British East India Company, but more nationalistic. Why? Like, why not just have a nation at that point? You know what I mean? I don't know it makes it harder for you to move in and out of like other nations, right? Because as a business, you would think the benefit would be you could jump in and out of any nation you want. But um, uh, Mantis Shadow said, I know one Cajun French term, laissez les bon temps rouler, is I believe how you say it. It is, let the good times roll. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Yep, that's how you say it. Let the good times roll. That was very nice. I appreciate it. I want to learn more Cajun French. I don't know a ton. I know some sayings. I know some words. Like I have a weird jumbled category of like some stuff that I know. When my dad or my mom like would say stuff, my dad when he'll bring up stuff. Sometimes my mom used to all the time throw like a Cajun French word in, or she'd like say a little bit in French, and I would get so happy to be able to like have that trigger in my mind and remember that. So every once in a while, it'll be like randomly throughout a day, like years and years after it's been said to me, and I'll just something will trigger that in my mind. I'll be eating a food or I'll be doing something, and it gets me. I wish I knew more. I've run into people who are Cajun French and who, when I say I'm Cajun French, will start speaking French to me, and I shut down. I go, I don't know what to do, but I would love to learn it. I really, really would. It's a dying language as well. Specifically Cajun French, because Cajun French has mixes from Native American languages, from Spanish, from even German, and a lot from African culture as well. So there's like a whole mix of different languages and different dialects and different stuff that intertwines within the Cajun French category, and it sucks that it's just disappearing. Um, um, PTV says, does AP speak any French Creole? I speak a little bit of Cajun French. Like I said, it's like words, it's like, a couple phrases here and there. I could not hold a conversation with you. I'll tell you that much. Because I've been in situations where, people want me to speak it and I can't. Backwood says, with animal citizenships. Sabatat says, I also started a currency, but it's electronic. So basically a cryptocurrency. What do you think on that? Would you like crypto or paper better? Well, we choose electronically because it saves us a lot of money and easier. That's fair. I'll say starting a cryptocurrency is a pretty good way to go about it. Starting a digital currency is a good way to go about it. Starting a physical currency as well. I know in the United States, one of our biggest problems and why it's taking us so long to fully get on our nation's feet with its economy and with its monetary system specifically, is because you need a money transmitter's license in the state of Alabama to be able to create anything that is considered a money, anything that is considered a value, stored value in an item. So something like money, for example, or like tokens or whatever, something that has stored value. You have to have a money transmitter's license to make and to use. So that's cryptocurrencies, that's physical currencies. That's something to look into, I would say, because if you start making a lot of money from people buying up your currency and using it and spending it, all of a sudden you could wind up in trouble if you don't know the laws in your area. So remember to look into that before you try and do too much. Backwood says local cows branded with Aeternia mark and pay taxes through milk. Of course, yeah, that's how they do it. Backwood says chickens pay taxes through eggs. You know it, you got it. Mantis says, diversity in my country meant that I never really had much race tensions because everyone more or less gets along with everyone else. The main races are East Indian and African. Very cool. Do you feel like you enjoyed the community you grew up in? Sabotat says, or that you are growing up in. Sabotat says, I do not know my ethnicity because my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents all came from the same town I live in currently. Backward says, message retracted. Backward says, my nation was a white ethno-state. Leanna said, the only rights animals should have are protection from unnecessary harm and neglect. Animals should not have citizenship because they don't know the responsibilities of being a citizen. I agree. I definitely think citizenship is a different thing. You know, that if you have animals as citizens, I think you have to make citizenship a really, really broad thing. For Eternia, that's not going to be the case, but I'm curious for the nation that did say they had animal citizens. Oh, Sabotat. I'm curious as to how Sabotat will develop what citizenship actually means, meaning that there are so many different species of animal which can claim it. Sabotat says, so far we have human, dog, cat, and lizard citizens. Ooh. Mantis says, however, the older generation, mainly some East Indians, have some covert dislike and maybe hatred for Africans, though I have definitely seen the opposite, where some Africans were racist. Very rare. That's good, though. That's good that it's rare. I think it shows that there's a lot of progress in your nation's culture, but as well it shows how culturally intertwined those groups are in your nation and how your nation is truly a melting pot for hundreds, thousands of years to be able to develop such a uniquely intertwined culture. I think that's beautiful, and I think that's something to respect in and of itself. You are not Africans, you are not East Indians, you are all Malaysians. That's wonderful. Oh, Myanmar. I said wait. Oh, Trinidad and Tobago. There we go. Trinidad. My apologies. I said Myanmar. I said every different place but where you're actually from. You're from Trinidad and Tobago. That is perfect. Trinidad and Tobago. Project Ohiga. Project Ahia said chess. Kingdom of Vernonium says I accidentally learned a lot of German from music. PTV says, excuse me 1 second, guys. Okay. Ooh. So, Vernonium says, I accidentally learned a lot of German from music. PTV says, as a nationalist, I do activism like spreading awareness about our language and culture as well as fighting for rights. That's awesome. Leanna says, Vernonium, you listen to a lot of Rammstein? Ooh. Vernonium says, no, but I listen to military folk songs. PTV says, AP Cajun French is basically my level of Goralic. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Mantis says, wow, dude, the hidden French thing is very cool. LOL. We have a patois that is dying as well. It is somewhat French. Truly a shame that it's dying as well. It's mainly spoken in Paramin, Trinidad. I'm sorry to hear about that. That does suck. It really does. Backwood says there's a Mississippi German language. It's basically dead. There's like 100 speakers left. It's basically Delta Creole, but German speakers started dominating it and made it more German. That makes sense. I have heard about that actually. That there were a lot of German settlers in like the middle of Louisiana and a lot of like southern Mississippi and stuff. PTV says, but I can mostly underrated from what they're saying now. Jaya said, definition of nationalism, ideology based on the premise that the individual's loyalty and devotion to the nation state surpass other individual or group interests. I don't know that that's necessarily the best thing. Vernonium says, I'll try to say a small sentence. I believe in you, Vernonium. Sabat says, ooh, Sebatat says, in Michigan where I live, there's no laws on that. Oh, that's great. PTV says all this stuff. Respectable. I don't know uh, what that means, but congrats. Um, Mantis said, yeah, definitely it was very fun. I am black, more or less. My main friend is East Indian. My other friend is mixed black guy with some Asian. My other friend is Asian, and another is black with Asian. That's interesting. It's a very mixed group, but it's also very cool because it seems like it isn't at the same time. Mantis said, diversity is definitely something I am very fond of in my country. That's wonderful, and I'm so glad that you've had such a unique experience. Would you recommend somebody visiting Trinidad and Tobago? I imagine it's beautiful. Um, Backwoods says, my friend is from Trinidad but resides in Alabama. Hey, very cool. Vernonium says, I'm thinking of what to say. Sabatat says, citizenship is basically known in Sabat who is or is traveling away from a tiny amount of time from our nation. Steven says, AP, we play in chess if you want to watch. Jaya said, chess. Benonium says, hello, a whole bunch of stuff. TJ's Topia says, do you like history? I, for one, love history and think it's easy way to learn about how to do stuff in my nation and do not repeat the past. Benonium says, I kind of said it wrong, but eh. What I'm going to do, guys, I am going to hit up our Discord right now because they just said they're jumping into a chess match. So I'm going to jump into Discord to see about their chess match. If you guys want to watch the chess match and I'll hang out for the chess match, I will throw it up. I have a couple things I might do, so I might leave it up and go like jump on some things in the background while you guys are watching, but I'll be popping in. I'll be like in and out. We will see. Let's see if I can get it up. If I can't get it up, we'll wind down the stream in a minute. But if I can get it up, I will. Ooh, there we go. Is that the chess? Let's see. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna jump in. Okay, I'm gonna try and see if I can't jump in. Let me pause this. Let me see if I can't switch our window capture. Okay, hold on. We need to switch our window capture to Discord. Hey, wonderful. Okay, so now that I have open our Discord, I should be able to jump on in to the stream. Oh. Hey guys. Hey. I know y'all had a chess thing going on. I was jumping in to try and watch the chess thing. I pulled it up on stream. Hey, I'm doing great, Gray. How are you? It's good to hear from you. Yeah. Are you guys still playing? Hey. Ah. Hey. Uh-oh. Oh, goodness. I imagine. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Ooh. Y'all are killing it. I was gonna say, who's the worst at chess? Because I might want to play somebody, but I want to play the worst at chess because I'm not great. I got you, Nathan. We'll hit it up. We'll hit up a game at some point. I want to see the masters play though. We got to get Gray versus Steven, the two house masters, challenging each other. Very excited. So, do you guys have like a website you're playing it on, or?
Yeah, we're playing it on chess.com.
Ooh,
I can throw it up on Discord. Let's see.
yo, okay, of course.
All right, can you see that? Is that clear?
Let me jump in. Hey, we got it. Very nice.
Is it working?
It is working. You're good.
Now, and Gray knows this. My biggest downfall is I overthink my moves, so I've got to be careful because he moves really fast. So I've got to be careful to make good plays.
Oh goodness, I believe in you. Okay, so wait, who's who? Okay,
White.
white, and then gray's black. Okay, a battle for the ages. I will be back momentarily.
Anthony, we were talking while we were watching your stream. How do you keep talking just so consistently? Like, how do you keep a stream of conversation that long? He left. No, he's. I think he's. Oh, the stream keys.
Ooh, yeah, we got you, Steven.
It's not bad or anything. All good.
Oh no, you're killing it. You're doing good. Absolutely. Also, I see Steven out here playing hard with his queen. I'm sorry. Ah, practice. I've given up so much of my life to it at this point that honestly, it just I probably do. It's probably just a constant latent strep throat.
I fucked it. I fucked it. I fucked it.
Oh no.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, I should hit up more. I should hit up more tea. I have honey for it now. Mhm. We need that Eternian tea company. Of course, we'll throw it into the harbor and then we'll barricade off the harbor.
I'm on it. Let's see.
Goodness. Steven, you're trying here, man. I see it. I see you digging in.
On this song. This next episode. How do you cheat chess? Is there a way to cheat chess?
There are some pretty cheap ways to play chess, but there's no ways to cheat chess. You can't cheat.
You just have like a master chess player.
I just have I just have Photoshop or whatever on my
Yeah. You have a great coach.
So people cheat chess. That's crazy. How do you do that? You just have a microphone in your ear? Robots. What is Wally gonna do with chess?
You program an AI to beat everyone at chess.
So, let's say some people have turned on a computer, and they literally, so the time that they take is literally to run the computer.
Oh my god. Why would you? That just takes the fun out of it. See, this is what I mean. I have no idea what brain cells do, and I have no idea what brain cells do. See, the only like he stays so silent. Gray is just it's not. No, it's not even that. It's just sometimes I'm mesmerized. He chooses my favorite colors. Oh my god. Okay. No mercy.
That's all good, Nate. We will have more, so hopefully in the future.
Haven't even unleashed my bishop.
Ooh, jeez. I'm sorry to hear about that, Nathan. Absolutely. Take your time, and I hope everything goes well. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. But I wish you well in it.
Oh my. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Please grace me with a brain cell one day in my life.
I thought you hadn't unleashed those bishops, Steve. Well, no, you still have them. You still have them.
I think I probably just unleashed them too fast.
We're the
So when
commentators.
Micronational is involved, either Steven dies in the back or Gray sings songs in Oxford.
You guys sound like that.
Dude, no, hands is shaking. Okay. I can't imagine if this is fun to watch. I'm way gonna change seasons.
I was gonna say I'm enjoying it, and we've kept a good number of people. We have 10 people watching.
There you go.
Of course. Well, it's the two masters. It's a big deal. Yes, sir.
That is interesting. As the chess gods.
We make them compete their fortunes. Goodness.
If you make it one big, make it one big, one big
I believe in you, Nathan. We can figure it out.
He's gotta look at my back now.
Ooh, don't let him.
It's already happened, bro. Like he's there, and I
You
can't get him out.
you better get ready.
That hurts.
You better get ready.
My queen's between two death traps. Sweet Jesus. Now he's speaking in tongues, bro.
Nah, man. I don't remember.
Ooh, but you did get his queen though. Oh, he got one of those rooks. Or one of those bishops. Bishops.
Now. Now I'm just running. Now it's going for mama.
Oh god.
now, you really gotta go hard. Don't make that mistake that last year
Hey,
that
and
made
that
a copy that game.
not cool. I hate that.
It's gonna be too accurate. It'll be copyright strike. They'll be like, you played the whole video.
Let me make it full screen. Look at that. I like to be able to see my queens too.
Hey, yo, play, play like how to make it upside. You can go one and then switch it.
I don't like how you said ASMS.
Goodness
See,
gracious.
sometimes I'm good, but sometimes I'm just like, ooh, ah.
I believe him.
Yeah, I know you believe it because it's just so funny.
Guess what happens in this race? You just have absolutely victory and just what
I
happened
swear,
there.
Joe's playing me. Like he's genuinely letting me win.
No, it's straight up fun.
See,
No,
that's what confirms it for me.
yeah, no, but sometimes every time he's just playing the game with a little
He's
soundboard.
just stabilizing me.
No, not a soundboard. And the buttons and wait for everything else to load. He's actually more faster than
Mm.
Uno, e
I just took that piece with my queen. Now let's just kill myself.
for the baby. His actually
A little stream thinks that I'm advancing.
You just clicked over to me eating. There's an interesting inception moment.
what is he
I was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I actually made it on stream as well while you guys were playing. But then you flipped over to a picture of like me actively eating, and I was like, oh no.
Yo, hey, you gotta tell them how to really make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
No way is that a
Mm.
video. That'd be so funny.
They got the secret. They got the secret to the peanut butter and jelly.
wow.
Yo, Lynn, you gotta tell them the secret to the peanut butter and jelly.
I'm hype about it. Level up my PB&J game.
Hey,
Don't buy Uncrustables?
No, yeah, yeah, they have Uncrustables, but I know that Costco, Aldi, Kroger, what kind of stores do you go to?
We have Kroger, we have Publix, we have Walmart, we have Target, stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you have a Meijer?
No. But I think Publix is like similar.
Yeah, they might be. No Meijer, no in cereal. No, I honestly don't have like experiences. I
It's
just
okay
joke
if you
around
do.
with it. Yeah.
That's the point.
Honestly, oh no, I do have a question. Angry Birds the comic book.
That was that.
Good game.
I'm good at calling off talking.
GG.
Yeah, I know. I like the board game.
Did you play chess bro? What's its hundred invader white? Is that where you start white? Correct?
No, I mean it's pretty random for chess.com.
Oh, the notification went away. I thought you were talking about. Oh, I see. Sorry. Those are
Yeah,
French.
I didn't play Chess.
Makes sense. I hope you have a good night, Nathan, and I wish you good luck with the funeral stuff.
Do you play chess, bro?
No, I'm not the best.
That's fine.
I feel. Have a good night.
Talk to you, talk to you later, Walter.
Yeah. You swear, dude. That man is.
Oh, Steven, let's do it for a rematch. Yo, Steven, let's do it for a
I'm in.
rematch.
I'm in. I'm in.
Get him.
Let's do this.
Fight. Da, da, da. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna I'm gonna use this rematch opportunity to take a 2-minute intermission. Excuse me.
You're getting hyped about this. I'm pissing myself.
Yo, AP, you there?
To like take to like speak.
Gosh golly. How is the game going, guys?
Going
Ooh.
great. Not for me to say. No, he's quick. Shit.
Oh no.
No. Shoot. Oh. I'm just trying to go to E6. I let him go too early. No.
Ooh.
Wait, AP.
Yes.
I don't think chat can hear us.
Ooh, can chat not hear you?
It
Uh,
says on the stream that it says no micronational.
let me try something. Try now.
Hello?
Hey, it was that I had you turn super low because yeah, that sucks that this whole time people haven't been able to hear.
Bro, I've been panicking and they haven't heard my cries for help.
Well, they can hear
I
it
was
now.
I was asking if there were any chess people on the
Oh goodness, it is interesting then how many people we've had watching when there's been no audio. Um, yeah, they should be able to hear you now. So you're good.
I don't know what
But will you be able to survive is the question. Gray, how you feeling about this matchup?
Steven's pretty good. Feeling a little uncomfortable. Having some fun though.
Very nice. Very
he's having fun, y'all, and I'm suffering.
nice.
He's having fun.
You can't have fun in this death battle.
I
I'm
disagree,
sweating
but
bullets and pissing glass over here, and he's over there having a cocktail.
that's just the name of the game, though, bro. That's just the name of the game, you know?
No, the name of the game is chess, not Steven has a heart attack and fucking dies.
I imagine it's like a literal battlefield. Steven's like clawing his way through enemies. Gray's just like chilling, just flying over everybody. Like it's fine, I'm having fun.
Hey. That's the heart of chess, though. You know, that's the heart of chess.
Fun or imagined battlefield scenarios?
Yes. My answer is yes. My answer is yes to that.
Very nice.
Chess is a very good mix of emotion and cognitive function.
Makes sense.
Kingdom of Aeternia is talking a whole bunch of nonsense. I can't. None of us can checkmate anyone yet. Wait, Gray, can you checkmate me yet?
If it does what I want, 5. If you don't do what I want, way more than that. I have no idea
5?
what you're gonna do.
You've got me in 5?
I got you in 5, but that's like if you play ball, but you haven't been playing ball, G. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
play
So
ball.
play ball. You know what I'm saying? Just play ball.
I was thinking at least, well, more than. Shit. Oh my god.
Okay.
Where? Where do you get me? I can't even see it.
Yeah.
Are you capping?
I'm serious. Yeah. I mean, 5. Yeah, but I mean that's like I said, it's really dependent on what you do. I mean, chess and the first 3 openings of chess, I think there's like almost a million moves that one can make.
I always go for the same opening just because it works.
Oh, I tried.
Okay. I'm jumping away for a second. I hope the game doesn't like end before I leave. I'll be back.
Now I'm just trying to be sporadic so I throw you off your curve. Someone messaged me. Was it Nathan saying I'm short?
No.
Hell, what did you do? I look at stream for 1 second and you diddle it.
I just gotta play ball, G. You just gotta play ball.
You say play ball G, but I don't know who. Am I the G?
You're the G in the second. You're the G in the second.
I'm gonna use chat. Veronium. I need you. Help me out, bro. This man, he's crazy. He's unruly. I need help. I should calm down though. I've got time. All right, Gray. In what way are you gonna slaughter me today?
Well, it's getting more difficult, but I got a few ideas.
I don't like that you have more than one idea because I usually just pick one and run with it. Pray to God.
Yeah.
Flip the board over. I can't. How do you flip? No, I can't flip the board.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
Yours. You're at 135.
All right.
How's the match going, guys?
Pretty good.
Ooh.
Well, no. Now I'm not sure. Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Queen trade. I don't want to do that though.
Got a minute.
Oh, I didn't even know it was timed. I just looked at the timings.
I'm short on time. I got 58 seconds.
Ooh.
I've just gotta try and go behind the pieces. AP, any suggestions? Because I'm open to them. I'll gladly take help.
Ooh, I feel like you're better off with your own strat. I mean, I'm looking at it, but like, I don't know what you've been up to. I don't know all these sneaky moves. Up there where like his king is and stuff is kind of weird because if you move your knight, you're in trouble, and if you move your
Yeah, like he's got me this way and this way.
yup.
Great, your turn. Okay. Okay.
Ooh. Is it possible for you to win, Gray?
If he hits me in a stalemate and I don't see it,
Yes, it's possible, but not likely. So at this point, I'm banking time. Sometimes when it's low on time, they do like a thing called cashing out, where you
that was a good move
more
for me.
or less just try to lose as many pieces as you can and try to get them in a position where it's a stalemate. They can't take anymore.
Makes sense.
So I'm thinking it's gonna be 1, 2. You can go there. It's a genius move. Yeah.
All right.
Vernonium said, "Flip the board over. It always works."
That's what my grandfather used to say. He said never play straight ahead. Yeah, one on time. Hey, let's go.
Good game. Good game, Steve.
All right. 5 blunders. Jesus Christ. A chaotic game where both players had many chances to win.
Zero
Wow, that's a
mistakes
slap
though.
in the face. Yeah, but 5 blunders.
Yeah, you didn't do bad. You just almost lost 5 times. But you didn't slip up at it.
Nope. No, he did not.
Like last game, I made like 5 and 4, and then I had like 1 missed win.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. It's 2 a.m. where I am, so I think I'm
Yo.
about to crash.
Hands
Yup.
down.
Go check out Gray's SoundCloud.
Hey, yeah. Ooh, wait, Ray, you have a SoundCloud?
I do.
Oh, yeah. We
Should
do
I
need to
toss
check
that in
out.
the chat? Should I toss it in the chat?
Please do. I want to check out your SoundCloud. Hit it up.
Give me a second.
Um, I'm not sure if links work.
Oh, very good point. Links do not work in the Discord.
Ooh. I will say, if you hit me up with it though, I will post it. I got you, dude.
I cheated. I posted it in the Discord, but I cheated.
Hey, all right. Let me see.
But I'll delete it after. So once
So
you
yeah,
talk.
it says it was a
Oh, no,
cat
it's all
ass
good.
opening.
Yeah, I used the cat ass opening. Yeah, because I went rook.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went rook up 2.
So
Very
weird.
nice. I'm checking out your SoundCloud actively. Ooh, very nice. Hey, you guys check out Gray's SoundCloud.
Yeah, check out my
Hey,
SoundCloud, bro.
plugging it. Let me jump over. But yeah, I appreciate. Did Steven leave?
No, I'm here.
Oh, hey, I want to tell you, I appreciate you hanging out. I know you gotta go as well. I imagine you as well, Gray. I appreciate y'all hanging out. But yeah, I'm trying to pull it up before y'all leave. Ah, the SoundCloud. Check out the SoundCloud. Hey, there it is. Hey, check out Gray's SoundCloud. But yeah, I appreciate it. We need to get together at some point soon. Let me know y'all's availability. I want to put together another government meeting thing so we could do more stuff. Gray, I know you had a meeting with Nathan, and you had like sent me the notes on that. I would love to talk more about it when you get some time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to talk to you about it too soon. I'm currently in the process of editing it. We went over some of the recent applications for citizenship, and some of the content of the citizenship we're trying to just remove from editing because it was people's emails and their names and addresses, and we're just trying to make sure that people's information is safe. So
Yeah.
that's where the processing is right now for editing and all that jazz. Um,
Ooh, that's awesome. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. I'm excited to see what work you guys are doing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's great. I hear tonight on the stream someone sent in or actually got a application
Ooh,
for I think they said citizenship. They got a sovereign or a license, so that's real exciting because it's always good to have new people.
100%, 100%. And I know you guys on the back end as well are doing everything to make sure that that happens. So I want to let everybody on the stream know that that's uh, when you become a part of the Empire of Aeternia and you start helping us and ingratiating yourself into the community. Just know that all the things that you run into and all the different programs we're doing, all the things we're setting up, take a lot of effort, and that's done by people like Gray and kind of masterminding that and planning these fixes and this more detailed interaction with everybody. So thank you so much, Gray, for helping us with that system. And I appreciate it. Stephen, you as well. I know working with the economic stuff and even just helping us to like navigate stuff like that. Some of the times when we're going through different things, trying to figure out if it's feasible for us, it's always good to have you helping. So, both of you guys, thank you so much.
No problem. Hands down. I know for me, I know for Steven as well. We're really about the community. We're about the people that show up, and whatever works it takes to encourage other people to work on their independence, and their individuality here. At least for me, it's the most important, hands down. We're here for the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, guys. And other than that, I think I'm going to start shutting it down. So, I hope you guys have a good night.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
All right, and you heard it there, folks. We are continuing with a whole bunch of our projects. As you guys can tell, we're working hard, but we're all spread out. It's a big thing, but we're doing it. We are accomplishing these things. We're making a lot of progress moving forward. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for spending time. And trying to help make Eternia a place that is more and more habitable, more and more inviting, and more providing of opportunity, more and more fruitful for those of us who are participating in it. Um, I appreciate every one of you if it's your first day here or if you've been here since the first day. Um, Thank you, and I can't wait to see you next time. You all have a good night, take care, and Eternia forever. Peace, everybody.